doing so much damage that the project had to be shut down, and they saved our timeline.
I
Nice.
I was kind of hoping that you were going to tell me it's like from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
With
the marshmallow.
with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, where they were like, "Okay, think of anything you want," and he's like, "Don't think of a Yeti. Don't think of a Yeti. Don't think of a Yeti. Ah, crap! I thought of a Yeti." That was my hope.
No.
Apparently, also at the Montauk Project, they put microchips, embedded them in the workers' brains to control the people who worked there,
Yeah, okay.
or to make them forget that they worked there, or
Totally makes sense.
whatever. Also, apparently, the Montauk Project is where they train the Men in Black
Or they
to
trained them
quote,
before it shut down.
yeah,
Well,
to
maybe it's
quote.
still open.
It
Who
might
knows?
be. So
Yeah.
that's another part of it, right? They apparently the Men in Black were developed to quote confuse and frighten the public. Also, the Montauk Project, where they staged the moon landing, or possibly they tunneled to the future with their time tunnel to get technology from the aliens. Or they tunneled to a time when people could go to the moon and just did it then.
Wait a minute. Wait. I have seen most of these things
Uh-huh.
here, but you're telling me that the Montauk Project is responsible for either A, making the moon landing, or B,
Faking it.
faking it?
Yeah.
Both of those possibilities?
One or
Yeah.
the other, I guess.
Yeah, that potentially they faked it there, right? They staged it there. Or this time tunnel existed and they got the alien technology that enabled them to actually go to the moon.
But you know that.
But either way, it wasn't just like United States ingenuity
yeah.
that let us go to the
Yeah,
moon.
the thing about it is there's no evidence of any alien technology in the Apollo program. I mean, it's
Are you
like,
kidding me? Velcro.
Oh, good point. Yeah, but, yeah, I suppose so. Okay, yeah, you win. But,
Okay.
but seriously, there's no need for alien technology there. But I like the Civil War one.
Yeah. Apparently, also, one of the things they did with this time tunnel was they went back because apparently the first time we did the Civil War, it went the wrong way. So they fixed the outcome of the Civil War.
So the South won. The world was so terrible that the Confederate, is that the South?
Confederacy.
The Confederacy's version realized it was terrible, made their own Montauk Project to send people back to make sure the Confederacy lost the second time around?
I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was people who were, like still fighting for the North. Who, I mean, not still, but there are people who still think that the Confederacy should have won, right? In 2014.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the obviously the smarter people.
I was going to say, because most of the people who think that, they fly the
dumb.
flag, they drive the truck, they drink the beer, and once a year they go to the reenactment.
Right.
They don't build quantum machines in their
Right.
garage
I
that
have
know
a lot
of
of choice derogatory things to say.
Yeah, and that's
about
why
that.
I'm avoiding that.
You're getting it wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be the Southerners if the South had won the war.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is that the Northerners would have said, wow, this turned out bad. Let's create a lot of really advanced technology and go back and fix it.
But the thing about
Instead
that
of flying the
is,
flag and going to the reenactment once a year.
But the thing about it is that if the U.S. had split, there's a couple of different outcomes. One is that things might have turned out better or just perfectly okay. The South would go do their thing, we'd do our thing. Mm-hmm. And so, it wouldn't be seen. We see it from the perspective of us now as the South winning as being a hideous thing. But maybe as far as the North goes, people living in the North, it would have been okay. And so
The only thing is
incentives-
slavery. Let's throw that out there.
Well, slavery. I mean, slavery was going to go the way of the dodo. Industrialization did away with slavery anyway. I mean, it would have gone. But,
He's got a point.
That's true.
Yeah, slavery would no longer be existing in the 20th century. On the other hand, the United States, if it were split up, might not have ever become a real world power and might not have even participated in World War II.
Yep.
So I don't know.
It's a big question.
No one knows what all these unknowable, noble things are.
It's true. So more things that happened at the Montauk Project.
Oh, yeah. This one's interesting.
The Jersey Devil was created there.
Now,
We haven't tackled the Jersey Devil
What is the
yet.
Jersey Devil?
What is the Jersey Devil is the good question.
Yeah.
And that's, stay
That's totally the
tuned.
question. What is the
Next
Jersey
week-
Devil?
No, the Jersey Devil is a cryptozoology creature.
Like a chimera kind of thing.
Well, no, it could be a Bigfoot. It could be something like the Tasmanian Devil.
It could
of
be
New
a
Jersey.
chupacabra.
It could be a chupacabra. It could be a lot of things.
Could be a Batman guy.
It could be the situation.
This is the thing. Again, I'm sure we'll do a show on this.
Yeah, we probably will.
Also, apparently, AIDS was manufactured here. Because that's a thing.
Yeah.
Steve is looking at me like I am the person who believes this theory.
Yeah, I know.
I
The whole idea that
I just don't even know what to say.
The whole idea that AIDS was manufactured, when if you really want a new hideous disease to come along, all you got to do is just sort of sit back, drink a beer, and wait for sub-Saharan Africa to crank a new one out. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, look at, say, for example, Ebola.
Yeah, but the problem, right? Okay, so the thing, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to do this, but the thing is that like Ebola, you could catch as a rich person just as easily as you could catch as a poor person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an airborne illness, right?
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's communicable in other ways other than like physically having
It's in
contact.
the air.
Yeah.
It's airborne, yes.
Right. So the benefit of AIDS, right, ostensibly, if you were going to manufacture something, is that you would just say, I will only have contact with people I 100% know do not have this, and then I will never get it.
Oh.
So I guess
Unless you get a blood transfusion or something like that. But
they clean that stuff
they
out
clean
now.
that up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Now,
Now.
not then, because
At
there
the
might be some
beginning.
riffraff. You might want to just let it leak. No, I'm going to let that go.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Anyways, just as a so I guess that's my last big one. The whole thing is still standing. That's my last theory of things that happened there.
Is the AIDS thing?
Is the AIDS thing.
Oh, I thought it was your which was my favorite phrase of this is how we're just going to let that go.
We're just going.
Yes, we're just going to let that
So the whole thing, the radar and the building that it's on top of, and ostensibly the 50-foot titanium pyramid below are still there.
Yeah. And the soldiers with the guns
So
threatening people.
that's exactly the segue, right? Is that apparently this base is abandoned. It's just part of the state park in New York. But ostensibly, people say that civilians visiting the park are routinely threatened by armed government agents that are ordering them to not venture into certain areas of the park. Apparently, electrical workers report having installed a power station capable of using gigawatts of energy, like enough to power a city. And apparently, every once in a while, strange lights or shapes are seen on the sky overhead.
I see those anywhere.
Well, and here's something that's weird. I wanted to kind of get an idea of what the place looked like today, so I went on Google Maps and checked it out, and I was looking at the street map, no big deal, and then I wanted to try and figure out where the satellite was, or the radar dish, so I turned it on to satellite view, and then thought, well, I'm gonna pull a Joe, and I'm just gonna cruise around the streets and check everything
Street
out.
View, yeah.
Well,
Except you can't.
because every time you come around the corner, there's a couple of guys with AR-15s telling Mr. Google car to stop. And they're pointing the guns
No.
out.
You know how when you're in Google Maps today and you go with a guy that you drop on the map
Yeah, the
to
little gold guy.
yeah, whatever
Yeah.
he is, he's got a name. I can't think of it. Whenever you get the map to come up to show where he'll go, all the roads around Camp Hero, they all stop on the street view at a pretty significant distance away from the main center of the installation.
Is it the border of the state park? Like, is it not able to go into the state park at all?
Well, you go down a road, because I did. I went to a number of them. You go down the road, and then there's a gate, and there's a giant sign, which you can't read because of Google
blurred
has
out.
fuzzed it out.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a gate, and then I mean there's a number of smaller roads that look like they feed in off of the edges, and I went over to those, and every one of them it's the same thing. The Google truck stopped. It seems like these gates, if it's a park, would be open to drive down at some point, but Google never managed to get in there, and every time they fuzz out everything that is on there. You know how when you're in the street view, it does the little window where you can zoom in on stuff? Like, let's say you're looking at a house and you want to zoom on the house. When you look at that entire area, that little zoom window is gone in the street view. It's not till you do a 180 and you're looking away that it comes back. So it's a little weird that you can't even zoom into any of it, which would add a little credence to this theory of, well, maybe something's still going on.
Yeah, but the thing about it is if they still got stuff going on, then why go to the hassle of having, like guys sneaking around the woods with guns when you can just keep it in your own possession, not turn it over to the public, not have the public walking around, still have your fences and armed guards saying, hey, military base, you can't come in. And there's nothing suspicious about that.
But you have to you've got to do some kind of upkeep. And if you give it to the state and say, the state, this is your park, you've got to maintain it. But by the way, keep your little cretins out of this area, and we'll just have a little contingent walking around patrolling it to keep people away because, people get on foot and they wander around. They have no idea. So they're scurrying they're making sure everybody scurries away from it.
I guess my other thing for the keeping it a base would be exactly what you were saying earlier with the populated area thing, where I think, when they initially made Camp Hero, Long Island was not nearly as populated as it is now. So keeping something secret and operational as a publicized Air Force base is much harder. It'd be like trying to do something on the Air Force base, or I guess it's the Air Force Reserve or whatever, that's, down by the Portland airport. You drive right past it, and it's kind of a secluded area, but if there was weird stuff going on, people would know, just because people kind of live around. I guess there's some kind of, I see both arguments.
I still think if you're that paranoid about secrecy, just move out to the desert somewhere out west.
But that's the problem, is that there's all kinds of installations that were out in the middle of nowhere, were built up. You know about the here in Portland, out on the east side, there's in Beaverton, or west side in Beaverton, there's the Monkey Farm. You know about the Monkey Farm.
Yeah.
There's
the what?
The Monkey Farm. There's this place that is a primate facility. And it is in the middle of Beaverton, which folks who aren't from here don't know is a very populated, very urbanized area. And there's a lot of people driving around and living in that area. And I worked on a campus that was directly next to it. I mean, property lines intersected, and I'd be in the parking lot, and you could hear the monkeys.
Was it the OHSU facility?
I don't think it is. It might be. But the point is, they built that thing a long time ago and kept adding on to it. So they sunk a lot of money into infrastructure to build this facility, and let's just say they're doing nefarious things, because we would hear monkeys yelling all the time.
Well...
And then they're doing strange things there. Well, you can't just pick that all up and move, because that's really expensive.
Yeah.
So instead, you just say it's one thing while you do another.
Yeah,
you can do that, but at the time they started this facility, I mean, New York and like just north of there is Connecticut, another very populous place. It was already very, very densely populated. Back in the 40s or the 70s or whenever they started this. So, I mean, they didn't have to invest a dime in it. They could have just gone somewhere else.
But it was also, I remember in reading, they went there because it was right on the coast. So it was easy to bring everything in by boat, load it up, and haul it however far, a couple of miles at the most, onto the camp.
That far. No.
And so it's easy. It's
via secret submarine.
Yeah.
Your secret submarine base.
Submarine base, because frankly, I've looked that end of the island over fairly carefully, and I saw nothing resembling wharves or docks or anything like that. So, yeah, it's going to have to be the secret submarine base.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
So that's the story of
No. This is one we're actually going to have to postpone solving this one. I'm sure we have at least several listeners in New York. And so what would
do not suggest something that is going to get people arrested, Joe.
Please.
It won't get them arrested.
Please.
Well, if this is all true, it's not going to get them arrested. It's going to get them shot. So get your asses out there. If you can, if you rent like one of those little Kubota things, those diggers, and like those little earth mover things, and just do some digging out there.
You know what is actually a really huge fine?
Yeah.
Digging up state parks.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty illegal.
Okay.
Even just digging in a state park. I mean, it's one thing if there is a secret base there. It's even if there's not, it's a pretty hefty fine.
I would rather have a crew of LARPers dress up as SG-1 crew and go running through the park and see if they can blend in and get into the site than have them start digging up so that if they can see, they can find the first level of the underground base.
I just want to see what the signs say. The Google signs that are blurred out. I have a feeling it's nothing nefarious. I'm sure
I think it's probably innocuous.
Hey, you can't drive past here. Like, no vehicular traffic past this point.
It's a huge sign with it looks like a lot of text on it.
It probably says state park, and here's all our many, many rules and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's probably a giant rule list.
All of our state parks are like that. There's all kinds of signs and tons of rules and all
I just want to know
everything else.
So, what's your favorite thing that might have or might not have happened at the Montauk?
The favorite theory
project.
Or what?
Yeah, I guess I'm not willing to call these theories necessarily, just like
suppositions,
things that might have happened there. What's your favorite thing that might have happened there?
I really do like the guys that could make things materialize, and the guy makes the Yeti pop out of nowhere, and he tears the place apart.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Steve?
Okay, are we going for favorite for fun or favorite for believable?
Well, let's do favorite for fun. Why not? We very rarely do favorite for fun.
For favorite for fun?
I'm sorry. Joe may need to append his.
It's okay. I kind of like the theory that Al and his buddy Mr. Cameron had, where they were lost in time, because it makes me think. There's been a number of movies of military men from the 40s who go into the freezer cooler and wake up in the 80s.
Oh, you mean Captain America?
Yeah, stuff like that. And he's saying that. I think it's Al was saying that he had no recollection of ever working at the Montauk Project, and then people who knew the project, I might be misremembering the person. It might not be Al.
I can't remember either.
There was somebody who said somebody who said they had no memory of working at Montauk, and then people who worked there were like, "Hey, totally recognize you." No, I don't know you, until to the point that he got really upset, and then suddenly the memories started coming back.
That was the guy who said there were microchips in his brain.
Is that who said that?
I don't remember his name, but yeah.
Oh, see, I couldn't remember if it was him or the guy who could make things materialize.
I think it was
mind.
Microchip, dude. That might even be the same person. For all I can remember, I gotta be honest.
Then you're living a double life. It's pretty awesome.
On accident.
Yeah, it's kind of a Neo situation.
That would
red pill or the blue pill,
or both. You know,
just took them both.
Why not?
We're just gonna mix them, see what happens.
Just have fun.
Wouldn't that be a weird way for the movies to go? The Matrix. If he was like, I'll just take them both.
I'll wake up inside the Matrix, but forget everything I ever knew.
What about the? So which pill was it? The red pill where he goes down the rabbit hole?
Yes.
So what if he'd taken the blue pill? There's the end of the roll.
Rolls credits. Yeah.
No, the next hour and a half is him in his office, just working,
just coding.
Or no. It's like he's going about his business, and he keeps running into what's his name?
Morpheus.
Yeah, he keeps running into Morpheus, and Morpheus says, "Are you sure you don't want to take the red pill?" And
dude, why are you always trying to give me drugs? Are you trying to get me fired? I got to take a pee test tomorrow.
No, he's at the Starbucks, and suddenly Morpheus sits down, and says, "Oh, Jesus Christ, you again." Actually, that's a movie that needs to be made.
I think this is awesome.
I was just going to say that my favorite theory is Nikola Tesla, but I guess the Matrix is more interesting.
No, I like Tesla.
I like that Tesla was the director of operations there.
Yeah, Tesla pops up in a lot of stuff.
I like the director. Yeah, the director of operations. Like that's a very specific. Like they weren't like, hey, he was in charge of the place. They're like, this was his job title. It was director of operations, not chief of operations, not COO, right? Not like CEO, not like commander in operations or whatever you call, whatever you would do in the military. No, he was the director of operations.
It's a very specific title.
It is, which makes me operations, which apparently facilities probably replies to, right? Or reports to. But
head park ranger.
I guess, director of operations, that leads some credence, right?
Oh, no, that makes the story totally credible.
Super plausible.
Yeah. I got to be honest. Okay. I like the story. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can I now say what my big problem with this project?
I guess.
It is, I think, Joe, you might have mentioned this earlier, is this story is a prime candidate for people to just chew on. And I think that this is the hard part. Is like I kept reading it, trying to find, okay, where's some crap.
Seen your treachery.
Agua Edition, featuring
Stamper, Rice Pirate, and Johnny Utah. My name is Captain Dickhead. FYI, refried beans look exactly the same coming out, and you can't even taste the difference.
All right. What's on the agenda tonight, ladies?
Rock and roll.
Stamper.
Stamper's back.
Stamper's back. Stamper's back. Stamper's back. Jeff's just like, The
end. Oh yeah.
Right. He's right. What?
And I'm with Rice Pirate and Johnny Utah.
Hey, how's it going?
And we're gonna keep this one really casual and relaxed, lady.
Yeah, see, Stamper just got back from a long stint in San Diego. He wasn't quitting Sleepy Cabin.
He wasn't.
I read the Sleepy Conspiracy.
I read on the internet he quit.
Yeah, that he quit, or he was killed, or he died from alcohol poisoning or piss poisoning.
Well, that's fucking news to me, all of it. So
oh, yeah, that's right, because you disappeared off the radar, but you're back.
Yeah, I was working. Surprise!
Yeah. Are you allowed to say what you were working on?
Yeah, I was working on Game 4 with the Behemoth. The end.
Sounds great.
That was a good story.
Yeah.
Hey, Mick, do me a favor.
Yeah.
So I got this bottle of Smart Water here.
Yes.
And on the back...
What the fuck did you tape to it? Did you just do that?
Is that your fly trap?
Dude, it's a fruit fly trap. If you put a little cone of paper in the top, just look up fruit fly traps and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Why are you full? You're full of like the weirdest life hack information. Like when we do our cooking show, I want you to show people that sponge trick.
Okay.
Just all sorts of weird ass shit. So basically there's a smart water bottle cut off the top and then a cone of paper that's put into the top and then taped on, and then what? What happens?
And then, well, you put like...
Wait, hold on. Jeff looked like he knew.
Oh, it was kind of related, but there was somebody left something out in here one day. It was it was filled with flies, and I said, "What genius set this up?" And it turned out somebody just left in like an open soda bottle, and it wasn't intentional.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea.
Oh no, water. I mean, like at the house too. Like you leave some standing water, like in the bathtub or something.
Yeah.
You come back a couple days later, and it's just like the whole bottom of the bathtub's filled with disgusting dead animals.
Maybe in China. But no, the cone, it points at the top, so they fly down to get the vinegar or whatever you put in the bottle, and then they can't get back out. And then you just throw the whole bottle away. This has been a fucking holocaust. This catches shit left and right.
Yeah.
So it's either you can put blue cheese dressing, whatever will attract fruit flies.
Sure.
Normally. But anyways, so I got a Smart Water bottle, and you see this bright blue text on the back?
Yeah.
I want you to voice act your way through that.
Okay.
As if it was a commercial. And
all right.
Everyone can hear how fucking patronizing this shit is.
All right. Now I have had a beer. That sounded shit. I've had like 20 beers, and it's been a long day.
I've had a beer.
All right, here you go. Smart Water. Here you go. You ready?
Clouds get a bad rap. They're the unsung heroes because they contain nature's purest source of water. That's why we copied our puffy white friends to create pure, vapor-distilled Smart Water. But we one-up the clouds by adding electrolytes. It's a difference you can taste, unless you like the taste of stuff that comes from the ground. Like spring water.
What the fuck?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Who the fuck did this?
Like spring water.
Unless you like the taste of water that's on the ground. What is this, fucking cloud water?
Is
My
it just
ass.
me, or is that...
Water.
That is the most fucking
Like we've been
patronizing
sitting around
shit.
fucking drinking cloud water all day. You fucking groundwater drinkers. Drink some fucking cloud water, you noob. What the fuck is this?
They're paying advertising people like over $100,000 a year to
write
sell
shit like that.
water.
It literally says, unless you like the taste of stuff that comes from underground, and then in parentheses, like spring water. On every other bottle of water.
No. That's it. It's like
Deer
here's
Park,
spring water.
Fiji, whatever. It's like, oh, we come from underground springs doing this and that.
You know
it's
what?
like,
You know what? Fuck
that's
that.
not good enough.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's the worst fucking advertising ever because a lot of the nutrients that you get, like mineral shit, is because it comes from the ground. You get like the calcium and there's a bunch of, not calcium, but there's a bunch of minerals, zinc and shit like that.
Yeah.
You get from water that comes from the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit's healthier.
And then with smart water, they have to justify it early and be like, yeah, we have vapor distilled water that we add shit to.
No, I love how the font too is like so bright. It's like you can't fucking miss it. Look at it. It's like aqua fucking blue.
Yeah, and they do that thing where it's all lowercase, so it's like, yeah,
we're
we don't
hip.
care.
We're hip and cool. Yeah.
My problem with water bottles.
Fuck smart water. Nah, smart water's good.
They're actually. I don't know if you've gone. I don't know if you looked at them in Wawa lately, but they're starting to look more and more like shampoo bottles than something you.
Dude, Voss water looks exactly like a shampoo bottle.
Yeah.
It does.
It's more than one.
Dude, when Voss first came out, it was like fucking like $40 a bottle or something. Now it's like fairly comparable. I remember when it first came, because it was a club, it was like in the clubs, you get water, and then they put it like in a Voss bottle, and it would be like so fucking expensive.
You go to a titty bar, and it's all fucking Voss.
Well, they also had, wasn't there like some Jay-Z thing or some
like,
whatever, where it was like gold, there was like gold in the water? It was like literally it had gold flakes in it, and every bottle was like $100 fucking dollars, or just water with gold in it. Whatever.
So you're drinking gold?
Fuck those assholes.
Burger King and McDonald's have like the Pepsi and Coke water brands, and strip clubs have the Voss water.
That's
brand.
right.
Strip clubs,
Also,
high-end fucking coffee shops. It's
Also,
like Voss does sparkling and still water. It's
talking about water. Well, actually, I don't want to sound like a nerd, but Pellegrino next to like my own. What's it called? The fucking. I brought it to the house.
The sodas.
Yeah, the Soda Stream.
Soda Stream.
Fucking love that shit. But yeah, if it's not that, I do like carbonated water. I'm a big carbonated water guy. And also like there's like flavored seltzer waters. I don't know if it's Seagram's. I can't remember who makes it, but like all those flavored ones I fucking love, like the raspberry one. Anyways,
I can't stand carbonated water.
it's because you're gay. But anyways, I was gonna say the other waters.
No, it's like tricking you. It's like soda, and it tastes salty.
Yeah.
It's not fucking salty.
I know, but it like tricks you into thinking you're drinking a broken soda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like well, look, if you're a diet soda drinker, there's nothing like flavored with no calories and no like fake sugars.
Do you know why I have a bad reaction to it? It's like whenever you go into a restaurant and use like the soda machine.
Yeah, and they don't have any.
And it's broken.
Oh
and
yeah, that's what it tastes like because it doesn't have the syrup in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does kind of taste like that.
That's what I think of. Yeah. Well, broken soda.
Change your thoughts. change your mind. There's this one soda that I got. It's called Black, or this one bottled water called Black.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Black? But basically, it's the water is like brownish black.
Oh, and it's water, yeah.
And it's mineral water, but they're like, yeah, it's because it comes from the ground. Like it's so far deep in the ground. This water's fucking black.
It doesn't make any.
But it's super.
It is black water,
and it is healthy. I got it from Joa.
I've never heard of this.
I fucking drink it all the time. Well, I don't.
What
drink
is
it all the time.
actually making it black? It's not just
minerals. They say it's minerals. They say it's because it's not like distilled.
Dude, it looks like Coke, but it's not carbonated.
It's not, yeah, exactly.
Straight up black.
It looks
water.
like Coke, and when you drink it, it tastes like rocky water, like you're drinking water out of a river.
That sounds like a nightmare for people with kidney stones.
Did you ever read that story where they went down into a cave and they found water that was...
What?
I don't want to get the details messed up here, but they found they found resting water.
Yeah.
That bubbled up out of the ground that was literally millions of years old.
What?
Yeah, like it was just sitting in the ground for millions.
Wait. How did they test it? Did it have like organisms from millions of years ago?
There was either there was such a lack of oxygen in the water. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they. I wish I researched this before I knew this was going to be the water podcast. But
the water podcast.
Yeah, like the water bubbled up out of the ground when they went into this cave, and it was. Apparently, I don't know what was wrong with it, but it was like pure water, but somehow it was almost borderline poisonous to drink.
Yeah, of course. Dude, they always talk about, like, if you had a time machine and you went back in time for, like, dinosaur times, you breathe the air and you'd be fucking dead because of all the organisms and all the shit that your body is not prepared for. And or you... just by being there and breathing would kill like every fucking thing around you. Like if you like sneezed on a Tyrannosaurus Rex, it would just fucking keel over and die because we've got like there's just different organisms in our body and in, you know what I mean? Like the different toxins and stuff like that.
This ain't The Simpsons, man.
I wonder if scientists...
That absolutely would happen. If you sneezed on a fucking dinosaur, I bet you would kill it.
There's some scientists...
If you could get in a dinosaur's face, I guess, yeah.
Well, he'd eat you, and then you'd kill him with your poison.
Apparently, oxygen in the atmosphere was way more dense back then.
That's true, too. That's right. You may not even be able to breathe. That's the other thing, yeah. Whether it was more dense or less dense, regardless, the air back then was very different.
So I go back to when there was no trees and there was just like pretty much like big mushrooms.
Then there's no way you could survive then. Absolutely.
I'd love to see it though.
Yeah.
I want to go back and see dragons.
I want to see car-sized scorpions.
I want to see car-sized scorpions.
They were real.
Were they?
Yeah.
They have a skeleton, an exoskeleton.
They found some.
Scorpions don't have bones, dick.
That's why I said exoskeleton.
It might have been aquatic scorpions or something. I remember I saw a fun illustration of a scorpion that was the size of a small car.
So you could see like a dinosaur getting fucking killed by a scorpion because it was.
I don't know if they attacked dinosaurs.
Oh, yo, what was that? Shit, I forget what it was called. It was called I want to say like the fox eagle or whatever the hell.
What the fuck?
This is like the biggest eagle on the face of the planet, and it went extinct. I wouldn't say recently,
not too long ago. Though.
Not
like
too long ago.
Years ago.
Yeah, it was like the world's largest eagle. It was massive.
Oh yeah, no. Didn't they say like it attacked people?
It could easily scoop you up and just take you away. It was huge.
So it was like the eagles from Lord of the Rings.
They apparently the humanoids,
basically,
like people 10,000 years ago were actually scared of this thing.
Were they riding them?
I don't think
did they
into the sunset?
This thing,
a Hawkins eagle or whatever. Just type in like giant eagle.
Yeah, it was huge.
I just gotta say,
fucking massive.
There's nothing sexier than like anytime you see like a woman riding some huge ass fucking animal, like a polar bear or a tiger, like Frank Frazetta, right?
Yeah,
he did the drawings of the girl like riding the polar bear or like tigers and shit like that,
like the cover of Heavy Metal.
Oh, actually, they did that. Exactly, like Heavy Metal, exactly like that.
Yeah.
But they did that in that Fury, fucking Kung Fury, where that girl was riding that huge ass gray wolf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This shit's fucking hot.
I think there's nothing sexier than a woman blowing me while she's naked.
Look at that.
And then having sex with me
That's
while
a lie.
she's naked.
I think lost that one, Mick.
I think it's sexier if she's fully clothed, to be honest.
You like watching them ride around on wolves and stuff like that, but I like naked women that are blowing me and having sex with me.
What are you, a pervert?
Yes, I am.
Get with the program.
All right, speaking of water and women, shit. I haven't been on a podcast in so long, I forget how this shit operates.
You do what you're doing right now. Just keep drinking and talking.
All right.
You're gonna be A-okay.
Yeah.
You look like fucking Daredevil right now.
He does look like Daredevil.
Yeah, with your fucking beanie over your face.
That's a Daredevil mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I never understood about Daredevil? The
eye holes.
The old, yeah, exactly. The old comic and the new show. Like, he gets his costume and the dude puts eye holes in it. The dude can't see anyways.
They're not. Look, they have like the.
Why not keep the fucking like the thing? Just his whole mask is just a blank.
But it's
slate.
not real eye holes. It's just like the shape of the eye hole, but it's covered.
To what? For what end?
I
Maybe it's to make your enemies think you could see, to make them more intimidated.
Yeah, but wouldn't your enemies be more intimidated if you got your ass whipped in the street by a blind guy that was clearly covering his face, you'd be scared shitless, man.
I don't know. I'd like to see that test. Would they be more likely to want to swing a bat at your head if they could think you couldn't see?
I think. No. I think if you see. Oh, I see. If they were blind, right?
If I swung a bat at a dude that had his eyes covered and he dodged everything and kicked the shit out of me, I would tell everyone.
If I saw a guy in a fighting stance with a mask over his face that clearly couldn't see you, but he was clearly like...
You knew he could see
you? In a confident fighting stance.
Oh, okay. So you didn't even know...
So he could sense you.
Yeah.
I think I'd be more scared.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
You know why? Popular media. That's why.
I'd be like, anything could
happen.
You've been
trained to believe that. You've been trained by Zatoichi, by freaking Daredevil, by all these movies with blind dudes.
It would work. It would work.
What's the scariest thing if someone came up to you and they were like, you tried to intimidate you? What would be the most intimidating thing someone could do to you? You're in a dark. Hold on. You just went to a bar. You're with your friends. You had a few drinks. It's late. You're trying to get back to your place. You're not really thinking about shit besides getting home. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, on your way to your car, you decide to take a back alley. Some dude stops you in this alley. What is the most intimidating thing this dude could do?
See, that's the thing. Like,
to freak you the fuck out in this alley.
If somebody pulled out a knife, or a gun, or something like that, I feel like I'd be ready for that. And I'd be like, okay,
and then you could run.
Well, that's interesting.
I mean, I've thought about this actually, and I've thought about what I could do to intimidate somebody.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I think if he started just self-harming himself, like if he took a knife and just slowly started like shoving it into his shoulder, or something, I don't know,
yeah.
Something like that, and he's just looking at you and not making an expression as he's, I don't know, something like that. Something along those lines.
You've thought about this though.
Yeah.
For me, it's like
it's like case, you know,
trivial shit. Like if they just did something trivial, like it's more confusing than the blunt, anything like violent or threatening. It's always in the trivial shit that it's confusing. It's this when you know that somebody's.
I always thought like if they like pulled their pants down, and whipped their dick out, and started jacking off in front of me, I'd be kind of concerned.
I'd ask if I could help.
I just watched a video like.
You need help with that, dude?
You did?
Some guy was trying to rob another guy, and the other dude ripped his pants down, and the thief ran, like booked it out of, started chasing him down the street with his pants down, and the guy like just, the second his pants were down, he took off. I was like, that worked.
But see, that's exactly why I said it, because I feel like it's the most unexpected thing you can imagine. If you're like, someone tries to rob you, you drop your pants, turn around, and start thumbing your asshole or something like that. What's the guy gonna do? What like literally?
Pull your hand away from
No,
your ass
he's
and
not. He's gonna
fuck
fucking
you?
run away. He's gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy? I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done. He's gonna throw his hands up in the air and say, done, I'm done, and walk away.
It usually work in 95% of cases.
So the next
That's
time
true.
you're getting robbed, pull your pants down and pop your thumb up your ass, and you'll.
You know what? I guarantee you're gonna freak somebody out.
I know Mick would have no problem doing that.
Fuck you.
I'd probably hesitate.
You know what?
Might. You
no,
probably do,
I
too.
think Stamper would have no problem. I'm not all into the ass play like Stamper.
I'd kind of like slowly pull my pants down, but not in it. He'd have time to like.
You'd sensually, slowly unzip
I'd nervously do it where he wouldn't be freaked. You'd have to do it really fast to be freaked out right away.
That's true. You have to do it violently.
Yeah.
Just scream as loud as you can while you're shaking, and then rip your pants off right in front of him. Yeah, helicopter your dick in front of him. That would definitely fucking freak him out.
You don't have to do anything sexual. You could just pull your pants down, just drop them like a toddler at a urinal.
Yeah.
And then just say something like, I am the god of my own world.
Yeah,
and just stand there.
That's true.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah.
These are all real life advice right here. This is
You
working.
just start helicoptering towards them, and
that's
you're
right.
like,
We're gonna
come
get
with me to Valhalla. And
We're gonna get a letter.
Come with me.
We're gonna get a letter later from somebody that's like, dude, that Valhalla thing saved my fucking life. I pulled my dick out and whipped it around. And
Yeah,
you'd be
or
like,
the
"What
opposite. I did the
hell?"
Valhalla thing, and the guy chopped my dick off and then fucking shot me.
And then he stole my wallet. So I was standing there with the chopped off dick.
Can we sip of your beer?
Might work.
Can.
Thanks.
You can't have all of it though, motherfucker.
So that's Steel Reserve, huh?
Yeah, Steel Reserve. This was an old college drink I had with my buddy. Oh, I mentioned him on Twitter not so long ago. My friend Matt. He's actually on Broadway right now. Or he's actually been on Broadway for years now, but he...
Broadway, huh?
Yeah.
It's the poor man's Hollywood.
Oh, shit. No, he's a
Nah,
good,
but seriously,
he's a good guy. But he was actually the one that got me into a lot of trouble back in the day.
He's not all that handsome either.
Shut up.
But he likes
He's a
wieners.
Jew.
Was he the dude that told you to jump on the train tracks? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was the one who got me to jump on the train tracks. His dad was like a psychologist or something like that. And I guess...
Tune into the previous episode to get that story.
Apparently, I didn't know this, but like if you have a PhD of any kind, if you're a doctor of any kind, you could be the doctor of fucking homosexual dragons. It doesn't fucking matter. If you have a doctorate in something,
Good one, Mick.
like me, they fucking hand you these. They'll give you like Viagra and or like antidepressant, like all the experimental shit As long as you have a PhD, it doesn't matter what the fuck you are, they'll fucking give you these weird ass drugs for shit. So like, I think his dad was like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I don't fucking remember, but all I remember is he would get samples for like different kind of like fucking erectile dysfunction drugs and shit.
Yeah.
And so I think we were doing Coriolanus together. And
you were doing what together?
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking sexual position. It's a Shakespearean play, you fucking uncivilized barbarians.
I didn't say shit.
Okay, anyways, so we were doing Coriolanus there was a couple other things we were doing at the time. Anyways, he handed me some of these things, and we would do this thing because we were both poor. But he was like, listen, and we always dared each other to do stuff for stuff. So it was like, jump in the train tracks, I'll buy you a beer. And I'd be like, well, you do this, and I'll give you that. So he was like, listen, I needed breakfast. I did. And he was like, look, I'll buy you a muffin and a coffee if you take this erectile dysfunction drug during rehearsal. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, honestly, like, you're so poor, it didn't faze you. So I took whatever this fucking shit was, and I remember I got so lightheaded. It was the weirdest fucking thing. I thought I was fucking tripping. I started getting tracers, or are they called tracers? What do you call them in your eyes? Where
floaters?
Floaters, yeah. Where I was getting like those little like rainbow shits in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And then apparently, I didn't know this, but he had told one of the cast people, which was a girl, like one of the only girls, that was what had happened. So she did this thing where she was sitting down. It was in a church at the time, but we were on this church pew, and she started like talking to me, like people were rehearsing, and it wasn't our scene.
And then you
she started. No, I didn't fuck her.
What?
But she started like rubbing my leg while we were talking.
And then you fucked her.
No, I never fucked her.
All right.
God damn it.
All right.
But anyways. I did get a huge crazy boner, and it was very awkward.
And then you fucked her.
And then I fucked her. No, I didn't ever fucked her, you fucks. Anyways, this guy, that was the guy. Like, that was the type of shit that ended up happening.
Then you fucked him.
Then I fucked him. Yes.
And then you got new friends that weren't assholes. Right?
You know what? At the time, though, because it was a
Hey,
mutual...
Mick, you want some breakfast?
So after I jumped into the train tracks, I hurt my leg, right? Yo, is there a lighter?
Was there a train anywhere nearby, or did you just jump on empty train tracks?
No, we were in a subway. And it was
you missed the podcast?
It was like 3 a.m. I was with this girl who visited from Washington. And by the way, her father was the vice president of Wizards of the Coast. Anyways, I didn't even really understand what that meant at the time. I couldn't appreciate it. Back now, I'd be like, oh my god.
She's like, he's a president of a wizard.
Vice president of Wizards of the Coast.
Were you thinking of like literal wizards, or are you just
Magic the Gathering, Joan?
I know what it is.
Anyways, so I was on crutches most of that summer. There was a party at his house. And I remember...
This is an Irish story.
This isn't an Irish story. So, from my place, I was in in New York, there's the L train. And the L train takes you from 14th Street or whatever, Manhattan, into Williamsburg, right?
The loser train.
Right after Williamsburg, which is where all the hipsters were born, is Lorimer, and then I think it was Graham, Grand, and then I was on Montrose. That was like the 5th stop, right? Okay. And so we were in Montrose, which is outside of Williamsburg. Williamsburg, like very preppy, like totally safe. Montrose, at the time, was kind of... It was dangerous.
Dangerous, Mick.
Yeah,
Because why, Mick?
Because I didn't have you to protect me.
Gays aren't threatening.
Okay, anyways.
What?
So what happened was his house was like several stops later, but it was so hot and it was the summer and we had friends and we were all going to walk to his place. Okay. But I was on crutches, so we were walking to his place. On our way to my friend Matt's party, there was a small park ahead of us. We'd maybe gone like a half hour, and the whole trip was maybe like an hour from walking distance. But I was a stupid kid, and I was like, yeah, I'll just use my crutches. Halfway across, we get to this park, and we hear what sounds like fireworks. In this little park, had some trees. Kids.
Is it daytime?
No, nighttime. Kids, because we're going to the party.
Gotcha.
Kids come running out like fucking spiders in bushes, like just pouring out of this park.
Spiders and bushes?
I'm from Washington. When I was a kid, we had these bushes in front of our house.
Don't tangent. Go continue the original story.
Somebody took like a hedge trimmer to these bushes, and apparently there was a spider nest in the bushes, and they just it looked like black water just pouring out of a bush, but it was just baby spiders.
We're back on black water again.
Oh yeah, back to the water. Anyways,
this is a long... okay.
So...
still going.
So all these kids start running out of the park.
Because of spiders?
No, because of the fireworks that were going off in this little park. But it wasn't fireworks. This little black kid hides behind one of the fucking like the mailing, like the blue mailboxes.
Yeah.
The little curved ones at the top.
The post office.
Yeah. And he goes, "You gotta hide. The gun people are here." And I was like, "What?" And I'm on crutches. So I'm like trying to be like all my friends start running down one of the streets, and I'm like, and I start like running off my crutches, like trying to fucking get away.
Your friends just bailed on you?
Look, I don't think anyone turned around and was like, "Oh, we got to get the fuck out." Like, I just think everyone.
They just showed up and started shooting.
Apparently, no. Apparently, there was actually a gun. Like, some people shot each other in this park on our way to this party. But what happened was
the gun people are here.
Yeah. So anyways. So all the kids run out, and this kid was hiding behind the thing, and I'm sitting there with crutches, like in the middle of the street, and all my friends book down the street, like past the park, and I'm like, so I'm like sitting there trying. I mean, nothing happened to me, obviously.
It's too bad.
Fuck you.
Weren't killed.
Anyways. So that was on the way to his party.
Yeah.
We get to the party, and apparently he had a bunch of absinthe because the set designers from the Dracula show or some show that we had done, they would make their own absinthe, like flavored absinthe, like different types of flavors. But I remember when I got to his house, he was like, "Oh yeah, mix here, yay!" And I told him the story. He's like, "Oh, this crazy, blah." But then in front of everybody, he had apparently found some bees, some half-dead bees, and he froze them.
This story is like,
and he froze them
kind of in a straight line, but it's like it's like veering left
and then he
and
put
right.
them in the freezer. And then because we like to dare each other to do things, he had waited for me to show up just so in front of everybody I would eat the frozen bees.
This is an adventure beyond anything I can imagine.
And then I ate the bees. I'm going to link them. The reason why I'm telling this story is because I'm going to link them to the podcast because I think he's going to hoot out of it. But anyways, I ate the bees. But initially, I had they're sitting there like, I don't know what happens to your tongue if you eat a fucking dead bee. Like, do you get stung? I don't know. So then everyone started chanting. They were like, "Eat the bee," whatever. And then I ate it. Nothing happened.
Stamper. What would you rate?
What the hell was that?
I don't know. This is 10 minutes of I don't know. I don't know what that was.
And then I ate the bees. That was a totally Irish story, man.
I took a train.
I'm half Irish.
I took a train. My girlfriend.
My name is fucking Mick.
What?
That's true.
My name is Mick. I am half Irish. Not because of my name, but my father was
There was somebody who was a Wizard of the Coast president, a train, eating bees, a black kid with the gun people shooting other people. I don't know what the point was. The point of that was.
The point was
his friend dared him to do things.
Yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, we talked about
Christ Almighty, man.
So he dared me to eat the bees, but in order to get to the bees, I had to go through the story.
God, you're like a woman. It's like everything you say has details,
so not true.
details.
Yeah,
so not true.
A little bit.
If I was a woman, I would call you while I was up in my room and you were down in your room, and I'd be like, "Stamper, what you doing?"
No, here's what would happen.
Give me the beer.
Here, take the beer.
I'll buy some more.
It's like, what'd you eat for lunch today, Mick? And then it's like, well, this morning I was thinking about making a pumpkin pie, but I thought that was a really bad idea because it wouldn't be done by
It's like,
time.
what did you do today? I did some work. How fucking fun is that? No, I was on crutches. Some dude got shot. Some kid told me to hide. And then I ate some frozen bees.
This was over the course of like 2 hours or something.
This was over the course of, like 3 hours.
Let me tell you how a story works.
Yeah.
Watch. Let me show you.
Okay.
Jeff, you went to the grocery store recently. What did you buy?
Hamburgers.
Boring.
That's a story.
No, that's not a story. That's a fucking reciting of a fact.
Well, no, but we asked
How
you.
tall are you? 6'3".
Well, we got the information, and really quick, he bought hamburgers. And you know what? I built up the rest in my mind. I was like, holy shit. He brought them home. He put cheese on them, ketchup.
Speaking of
You
hamburgers,
like onions?
since Deborah
He
got
put
back,
onions on them. Shut up. Maybe some marinated mushrooms.
Yes,
trying to get hungry.
now you're the storyteller. Now you're throwing all the fucking facts and the little details in there.
Wrong. I'm throwing toppings on a burger, my
We
friend.
should film this. Kind of like the movie Clue, where like they keep resetting the end of the movie, like different shit happens. Mick keeps dying in different ways.
Is this Groundhog Day to you? Do you feel like you're reliving
Maybe.
the same situation over and over again?
Oh, speaking of which, Jeff,
Yeah, hello.
Wawa story.
Oh, well,
Let me know what happened.
Well, sure, all right. We have similar stories, but yeah, I went into Wawa and I was just buying a cappuccino, like a big fag, because I need that over my coffee. And apparently this guy was trying to sneak out of Wawa with a 12-inch sub. And
at Wawa, you go up to the deli counter and you punch in your order. And a lot of people aren't familiar with the way Wawa works. It's like
they have a digital ordering system, a little menu.
Basically, it's like 7-Eleven or any other convenience store. You walk up, and if you want a fucking sandwich, which is really fucking convenient, you can get one at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You walk up, and it's like, I want a turkey sandwich, and you hit the tomato button because you want tomatoes and so forth.
But it's like run by robots.
I just want to be clear. I think we talk up Wawa a lot. It's not that they have the best food in the universe. It's just the fact that it's so fucking convenient.
Available.
It's 24/7 every day of the year. So
and the quality isn't terrible, right?
It's good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good enough for 3 or 4 in the morning.
It's definitely good enough. Yeah.
Got it. Well, at 3 in the morning, pretty much anything's fucking great.
There ain't no place you can get a sandwich at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Yeah.
Right.
So a dude orders a sandwich. You place your order, you get a receipt for it.
Yep.
And then they make your sandwich.
Right.
And then you pay for it. And he did not pay for it? He tried to walk out?
Apparently, what I picked up on, the cashier, he has seen this dude do this several times, where he buys the sandwich and he'll sneak out with it.
Could you see him eyeing him or something, like, while he was in there?
Yeah, well, he caught him. He caught him going out the door.
Oh, okay.
He saw him leaving the door, and he said, "Hey, man, you need to pay for that." And he was there with friends who went out the door before him, and he said, "Oh, no, my friends picked up the bill. They paid for it."
Were they really his friends, or was he just pointing at random people?
They came in with him, so yeah, they were his. I don't know if his friends knew he was placing the blame on them or not, but the cashier is like, no.
That's fucked up.
He's like, "I know you didn't pay for it."
I have a follow-up to this, but yeah, go on.
And and the guy, this guy is like he looked strung out or drunk or on drugs, or his eyes were like really wide open and bloodshot, and I don't know what the hell was going on, but he came back in. He's like, "No, man, I paid for it." He's like, and the cashier, he's like, "Listen," he's like, "I know I've seen you do this before. You're not getting away with it." He's like, "If you walk out that door right now, I'm calling the cops."
Yeah.
And the guy, I think the cashier is being reasonable. He's like, if you give me that back right now, I won't call the cops, but I want you to get out of here right now.
You know what's weird, though?
What's up?
He's probably going to take it to the back and just throw the sandwich in the trash.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you'd have to, yeah.
The same guy fucked up my order last night. But I said, yeah, it's okay. It's cool. I didn't want to waste the food, so I just took it. And
it's more like a matter of principle.
You're
like
a good man.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
But
I like that
exactly.
too.
Yeah, no, but, I think this guy was fed up because I think his coworker, I think he was extra pissed off at his coworker, too, because his coworker always kind of let the dude leave and didn't make a stink about it. But, so he walks up, rips the sandwich out of the dude's hand, he leaves. Then the woman behind the counter is like, "Hey, man, you want me to call the cops?" And he's like, "Nah." But then the guy comes back, and he's angrier. He's like,
"What?"
Yeah, he comes back in.
The thief comes back.
Yes.
He really wanted to eat.
Self-entitled motherfucker.
Yeah, he's giving the cashier shit.
And what does he say?
At first, he's like, I think he was upset that the guy was threatening to call the cops on him. So he's giving him shit about that. And then he leaves again. And then he comes back again. He's like, "You disrespecting me?" And he's saying this disrespect.
How can you defend your point? You just try to rob the fucking place.
I don't know. He's getting really. Then he starts leaning over the counter at the cashier, and I'm like,
and the whole time you're standing there just trying to buy a fucking cappuccino.
This is why it's good you carry a gun with you. Like just in case of these.
The woman finishes my cappuccino, by the way, puts it on the counter.
You need to downgrade to a pistol, though, man. This fucking shotgun's not working.
Dude, it's fucking huge.
But
put a hole in somebody.
I was initially feeling inconvenienced, but now I'm getting nervous because this guy's getting a little aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know what's going to happen. You know something's going to happen.
And then he's leaning over the counter, and then his friend comes back in.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, okay.
Oh, shit.
All right, this is about to get interesting. But luckily, the friend, as many people I'm sure have seen this situation, see the drunk friend acting up.
Oh, right.
And pull him out of the situation.
Yeah.
But then, then the cop comes and,
Oh, shit. So, wow, that was a fast turnaround for the cops.
The cop came very fast. He came within, I swear he was there in less than a minute.
Well, police officer.
Yes, the police officer.
And this is Glenside, though, right? Yeah. Cops all over Glenside all the time.
Police officers.
Sorry, if I drive down Easton Road at any point in time after 11 p.m., I see at least 4 or 5 cops just
police
camped out.
Officers.
What did I say?
Cops.
I think this is technically a slightly lower than normal crime area, with high taxes, so I think they have plenty of cops on the.
Oh yeah,
plenty of police officers.
Yo, they show up at our office all the fucking time.
But I do feel safe in the area. I mean, I do. They seem like. I just don't want a speeding ticket. But
yo, they come by the office and they bang on the door. I'm like, who is it? Who is it?
That's why I don't want you with that fucking blank gun anywhere around.
Oh, dude. There's that one time they've come by before. They bang on the door and like, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, we work here. This is our building. And it's like, oh, really? Can I come in? It's like, yeah, you can. And this one dude came by once. This one police officer came by once, and he walked around the place. And the first thing I had to tell him was, dude, that's not a real gun. Because it's just sitting there with fucking bullets all around it.
But I'm just paranoid as fuck that some cop's gonna come, like Zach, Chris, or Niall are gonna be doing something in here, and a cop is gonna bust in and see that, like Niall just gonna pick up the gun like a joke. He's like, and then he's gonna get killed.
Fucking Hans did that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you wanna tell that story?
I wasn't there. I thought. Oh, were you there?
No. But a cop actually came up to him.
Well, yeah, they were Chris and Hans and I don't know who the fuck was doing it, but they were filming something in the front yard in broad daylight, shooting a fucking pistol that shoots blanks.
When it actually worked, were they actually shooting blanks, or was it?
Yeah, and then somebody called the cops on them.
It was making realistic gun sounds.
That's exactly what. Yeah.
Right.
Dude, no, there's horror stories of people that think that blanks are just blanks and they don't do anything, but they're really dangerous. To test it out, we went to the basement and we drew a face on a piece of paper and we held it up and we pointed the gun right into the piece of paper and the paper fucking exploded.
You know, you can do that. You can do that from like
into fucking confetti,
dude. You can do that from 10 feet away. That's the biggest problem. Like when I went to acting school, but our teacher David Burmer, he was telling all these horror stories because he used to work on some of the sets of like some of these films.
People have killed themselves.
Yeah, they have because they'd be like fucking around with their friends and be like, yeah, it's a gun with blanks, and they put it right up to their temple and they fucking pull the trigger, and guess what? Their fucking brains get blown out by air. Like, no bullet comes out, but they can fucking kill themselves with a blank because people are fucking stupid. Or they do it to their friends. Like, oh, check this out. And they fucking pull the trigger on a blank in front of their friends and fucking blow their eye in or blow their fucking brains out.
And their skulls, like, shatter inward. And the one thing I noticed...
it's still the air.
I feel nervous holding a plastic gun up to my head.
Well, the thing there, too, is, like, why even do that? Because I've shot real pistols, and I swear to Christ, that thing over there cracks off louder by 2, 3, 4 times louder than any real pistol would do.
Well, probably because there's no resistance. If you have a bullet, I mean, I don't know this for a fact.
But like, why would you put that by your ear ever?
Right. Why would you put it? Right.
We shot it in the basement. I couldn't hear for 3 days, and that was just from like sound resonating around the fucking place.
Yeah. So wait. So what happens at the end of the Wawa story? The friend pulls him off, and that's it.
I might have gotten that Hans story wrong.
It was uneventful. It was uneventful, but yeah, the cop. Not to.
Did you feel like something could have? If his friend didn't come in, did you feel like something could have happened?
Yeah,
definitely.
The guy, he was getting really agitated. I mean, and the friend
again, man.
And you know what?
What can you say?
Hold on. The fact that his friend had to come in and stop it probably tells you that that situation could have gotten ugly because his friend knew.
I mean, it was basically myself, and there was a delivery man in there too. We were both like in a holding pattern. We're like, all right, we're just gonna stand here.
We're gonna wait for something to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna observe.
Yeah,
and if
if I need to drop kick somebody,
this little asshole starts swinging, we're gonna try.
Yeah,
I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be a fucking hero, but I feel like in this situation, I feel like I would have had to have done something to help and not run out like a little girl.
You're not a little girl, Jeff. You are a man.
I'm just saying.
I did beat you at arm wrestling.
You did. Thanks for sharing that.
No, I actually told Stamper this morning that I attribute it to you drinking. That I was sober when we arm wrestled.
I think you just had the edge on me. You just had the edge.
I'm telling you, man. None of you went over the top.
I'm Chinese, so I have chi power.
We'll have a rematch.
No, we will, and I think you will destroy me.
All right, I'm gonna work.
If I hear I'm Chinese one more time to make up for anything you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because my math skills, I always say I'm Chinese.
You're enjoying this Chinese shit just a little too much, Mick.
You know what,
dude? He could just go into the kitchen and throw cheese on the floor I'll be like, why'd you do that, Mick? I'll be like, well, I'm Chinese.
That's
and then
right.
just walk away. And it's
That's
like,
right.
you know what? You're not from a sacred Ming Dynasty clan
No.
that does things a very specific way.
I'm from
You're
I'm
a
from
human
the sacred
being.
Wang Dynasty or Wang Dynasty.
No, whatever. Give me that. Anyway,
where were we?
Well, I'm glad you survived that encounter and that you didn't have to fucking kill somebody.
My biggest problem with the whole
dude going out of his way to fucking
not
steal
to
a
disparage
sandwich.
police officers. I'm not one of these like fuck the police. I respect police, but this police officer that came in.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I'm trying to say it as respectful as possible, but if you're a police officer of the law, you'd think being in a reasonable amount of shape is...
Dude, once again, there is no reason that triple XL police officer uniforms need to exist.
I don't know how you could walk in with a huge this dude had an enormous beer gut.
I saw a cop the other day that had breathing problems. He could barely walk, and he's got his full gear on and his fucking... Why are they making... Police officers should be... I wouldn't say feared, but you should look at a police officer with respect. You should be like, holy shit. That should be like a profession that you want to get into. Like something that's like, oh shit, when I'm older, I'm going to be a cop. But Jesus Christ,
Dude, that's
man.
the same thing with PE teachers. I've had more out of shape phys ed teachers than I've had in shape phys ed teachers.
Full stop. How can you be a morbidly obese police officer? It doesn't make any sense.
See, the thing with this guy was he was sick, like 6'4". He wasn't even morbidly obese. It was just a dude that looked like he went home at night and drank beer and did nothing else. Like this guy could clearly, like he had the frame to be like a monster if he wanted to be. He could be this huge,
and he may have
dude.
been at one point.
But
my man's got like handfuls of Doritos and just
he just waddling around lazy.
The way you did that, handfuls of Doritos, I thought you meant like he had handfuls of titties. That's the way you did that. It looked like he was holding his own boobs.
Not in his shape.
Yeah. And even if this dude was like way taller than me, I'm looking at him like I'm not even scared of you. It's like you don't look intimidating at all.
Yeah, when you see a cop, like when you see a police officer and he's like his pistol's unbuttoned and he's just waddling around the store and he's trying to get away with free Wawa sandwiches.
Like, as our point was, when your actual life depends on your physical abilities, you'd think you'd put a little more stock in that, right?
Yeah.
But
unless your shield and your gun are enough.
Anyway, you could share your little anecdote about you have the same story from San Diego.
Oh yeah, so and it was always at this one 7-Eleven that was in the middle of Little Italy. The middle of Little Italy.
Okay.
The middle of Little Italy.
you like saying that.
The middle of Little Italy. The middle of Little Italy.
All right.
Anyway.
Not bad.
But yeah, the first time I saw that, it's like, just bums walking in and fucking stealing shit. And what they did, they just pick up things and put it in their bags and whatever. But the second time I saw it, it was really weird because I showed up at the 7-Eleven like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I go there. I was just looking for a pack of smokes, some Gatorade, because I was hungover from the night before.
Yeah.
And I walk up and I hold the door open, and it took me a second to realize what was happening because it doesn't happen very often in my life. But the cashier is standing outside and she's fist fighting with somebody that just robbed the place. She's standing right in front of the door.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at him. And she was like, "You motherfucker, give it back! You motherfucker, give it back!" And I was like, this is really weird. I don't understand what's going on here. And then she's manhandling him in a way where she's trying to get inside of his coat.
He's not trying to get guess
he's trying to deny that he stole anything the whole time.
So she's trying to reach into his coat.
Yeah, and I guess clearly he fucking did. And then she pulls out this fucking stack of lottery tickets. That's got to be like 50.
Shit.
I don't even know. They're pieces of paper, so it could be like 100 deep. It was like a fucking inch and a half
brick
thick
of fucking tickets.
Which this whole situation blows my fucking mind because A, they keep lottery tickets behind the counter. They're just not out somewhere.
Are they the scratch-off ones? Not that it matters.
The scratch-off ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ones with all the colorful graphics and shit on it. And you do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, how often this happens. But I want to know how the fuck he even stole them in the first place because they're up under. You almost have have to go behind the counter to steal that shit.
I thought there was some kind of like thing where like it's almost like an Apple credit card or like an Apple card where like a gift card where like if it's not activated by the cashier or something like that, then it isn't even fucking legit. Like it's not in the system. Like you could pull out, like you could just grab a stack and you could scratch them all off. And
I know.
If you didn't pay for them, it's not in the system, so therefore it's not it can't be registered.
Exactly. So right.
I thought something like that.
If he won, like he couldn't bring it back to 7-Eleven to claim his fucking winnings, right? I mean, that wouldn't make any sense.
I don't think so. I feel like every single time, anytime it's a lottery of any kind, like they track that shit. That's what I thought, that they track that shit.
I don't know.
So she pulls out a brick of lottery tickets from this guy's jacket or whatever.
Right, and then the process worked like this. Right after I saw that, I finally understood what was fucking happening. But the dude gets into his car, which was parked right in front of 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And you got to be a dumb motherfucker to rob a place.
And park right in front of it.
And park right in front of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and she's like, get his license plate number. And I'm sitting there staring at his license plate, just memorizing it. And I'm fucking horrible with numbers.
Go ahead.
And then she went back inside. She tried to scrawl the... It was weird. Like, she was so pissed at this guy that she took a pen out of her pocket and she scratched his license plate into her arm after she told me to get it down. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm not a fucking part of this. And I didn't even understand what the fuck was happening because, you know, again, it's not commonplace.
Right.
And then she went aside and she was like, oh, God, I didn't get his fucking license plate down. And she was scratching so hard that it was like blood coming out of her arm.
Jesus fuck.
And I was like, yeah, it's MGK6. And she was like, oh, I was writing so fast I didn't. I was like, dude, you were fucking scratching so fast that I don't even think ink was coming out. That might be blood right there.
She has a tattoo now of that guy's license plate.
Dude, every other word out of her mouth
memento.
was fuck him and fuck this and fuck that douchebag and fuck this cocksucker. And it was so funny because as she was fighting, there was a line forming at the register for people trying to buy donuts.
Just imagine, though, like, you can't be... I mean, I'm not going to say everyone in those jobs is miserable, but I can imagine a lot of those people are. And then that shit fucking on top of everything, that guy became the justified release for all of her fucking pent-up rage working at that place. That guy was just the fucking, like it was perfect. It was a perfect outlet.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm never in San Diego.
The perfect storm.
I'm rarely in San Diego, so I can only imagine how often that place is robbed when I'm not there. It's being robbed right now, probably.
You say this is a 7-Eleven, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because yesterday we were in a 7-Eleven, you and me, actually, and the other day, and...
You and Mick?
You're just saying how, like, 7-Elevens are, like, this relic from, like, 1990. Yeah. They stopped evolving in 1995.
They smell the same from my childhood, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It smells like a mix of, like, I don't know if it's the Slurpee machine or something, but...
They don't have arcade cabinets anymore, but
no, sadly.
The one I had never did, but they had that little they had that rotating thing that had comic books in it towards the front. They don't sell the comic books.
They just don't feel modern anymore.
No, they don't at all. Especially because they still smell antiquated.
Well, we got fucking
antiquated.
We got Wawa this way.
Here we have our fucking Wawa that was already better than 7-Eleven, and they're like, it's not good enough. And they fucking almost tear the thing to the ground and rebuild it in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I guess
out in California, man, it's fucking around the Behemoth office. There's like 3 7-Elevens.
I was going to say, it's all 7-Eleven on the West Coast.
Yeah, and they're decent, too. I mean, they got Gatorade flavors I've never even heard about before.
Well, you know, in like Asian stuff, they have 7-Elevens everywhere, too. But like
they got salsa in their little thing. You can put it on your hot dog.
Well, it depends on where you're at. That's the thing. 7-Eleven caters to the demographic. So, like, when you're in Japan or if you're in Malaysia, they had 7-Elevens that had, like, curry, like, saute sticks and shit that are on, like, the thing. If you're in Taiwan or in China and you go to a 7-Eleven, it's got, like, fish balls on a skewer or some shit like that. Like, it's always catering to whatever the community is.
I'll tell you one thing. You can get a pizza at 7-Eleven for $5.99.
Yeah, but
and
how
you know
good
what?
is that pizza?
It's actually not bad.
Shut up.
My brother, I think...
I don't believe you.
You can get a slice of pizza at 7-Eleven for $1. Watch the comments. They're going to be like, you know what? It's not that bad.
No,
you know
dude.
What? Truthfully, I will take 7-Eleven
anyone
pizza.
From Chicago or New York are going to tell you to fuck yourself. They're going to tell you don't know what good pizza tastes
like. Those guys
like.
are fucking assholes. First of all, deep dish pizza is more like lasagna. It's not even pizza.
It's true.
Argument over.
No. Listen,
New York, people from New York, they bitch about pizza. I could go, if you're from New York and you live here, you're like, oh, this isn't anything like New York pizza. I could drive up to New York, bring it back down, and you will still say, this isn't anything like New York pizza.
I'm not even close to a deep dish Chicago acolyte, dude. Fuck that shit. As far as I'm concerned, pizza's New York pizza or Italian pizza. Like real, it's like dry, and it not dry like gross dry, but it's like a dry, like less saucy.
It's crisp.
It's a crisp, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna even one up you. People who argue about whatever the best pizza is are just assholes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I agree.
If you're gonna,
that's the only problem in your life is pizza.
Yeah, how good your pizza is to their pizza.
And it's not even your pizza, it's just like your region's pizza.
You know what? It's interesting though, because like in Chicago, a lot of people, look, this is no diss to Chicago, except it is actually, but a lot of I don't know, it's because they don't have a whole lot of things to hold on to or whatever. I mean, Chicago is a wonderful, awesome city. We
got friends there.
Well, and it's got a great history, especially like with like fucking crime lords and shit, dude. The thing is a cesspool of history and amazing, like dark, deep secrets. It's a great city. But to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I've never met anyone from Chicago, right? Like from Chicago, not just living in Chicago, from Chicago, especially old school, that does not sit around complaining about New York pizza. That does not sit there and talk about how their Chicago pizza is the epitome of pizza. And it boggles me because in New York people are just so like, yeah, we're the best. And they don't say shit about it. They're just like, we know it. Oh, you're from Chicago? And I'm not a New Yorker, but there's clearly a confidence level that I think that speaks volumes about what you really think about your pizza. Because if you got to sit there defending something that you have all day fucking long, guess what? Your shit's garbage. But if you're sitting there and you're just like, whatever, man, you can say whatever you want. We know we're the best. Guess what? You're probably the best.
You're almost talking with a little bit of a Chicago accent there, a little bit. Yeah, it's garbage, Joe. Hey.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I watch way too many of these like artisan videos on shit, and a lot of them are about pizza making.
Yeah.
And there's these dudes in New York. This guy bought like 5 ovens in a row, and he hated all of them. And he's like, I'm gonna go. He flew over to Italy. Had some dude build him an oven in Italy.
Yeah.
Flew the pieces back.
Reassembled it?
None of that. He ripped out his storefront so the thing would fit through the front fucking door, reassembled it, and he was finally, and he rebuilt his storefront, and he was finally happy. He's like, finally, I have an oven that'll cook my bread, cheese, and sauce pizzas the way I want.
Dude, we talk about how crazy that is, but then look at Japan.
How would that work?
Look at sushi. Sushi's what? Rice, seaweed, and fish, right? or not even seaweed all the time. That's a roll, right? So... But even that, like the idea of rice and fish, how fucking complicated is that? But it is. It's infinitely complicated. And the people that love it, or at least are artisans of it, dude, I mean, the process and the ingredients, as simple as they may seem, are ultimately like they are world-shattering factors to those guys.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people listening have probably seen this, but there's a great documentary on Netflix. Jiro Dreams of Sushi or something, but that covers all the bases of like picking out the fish from the fish market.
Yeah. The cuts the right that rice. You do, how you store the fish, the rice, the preparation of the rice.
Massaging the meat for like an hour.
Not only that, but what he allowed people to serve with his sushi. Like one of them didn't have any alcohol. One of them didn't have any sake or beer. He was like, that just is not here.
Yeah, they almost like he got really like short with the guy. He's like, yeah, we don't do that here.
Plus the guy had to pay for a reservation that included no sushi. It was just like $1,000 just to be able to like fucking sit there, and that did not include any of the fucking food you were gonna get.
10 people.
Yeah, the whole place. But there was a sister restaurant or something like that was a little bit more like commercial.
His son ran an identical restaurant, a mirror version of his, where everything was in the opposite direction.
Right.
But he couldn't charge as much because the allure of his father was like what was demanding those prices.
I did love. There were a lot of lessons in that movie that I loved, and the problem is that I can't necessarily attribute anything that I do to it. But the idea of like mastering one thing rather than like trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. He was just like, if you focus on one single thing. You can become a master of that. And like how his focus was all on that. And clearly none of us are fucking that, but you know.
I
did appreciate that lesson. I thought that the dedication part of it, I definitely agree.
Oh
with.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, that's just interest in other things. We're all jack of trade. What's it? Jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking love watching videos like that. It doesn't even matter. Like these dudes who
make sushi or carve wood,
make a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Make the knife holder out of leather. I love stuff like that. I can just watch this all day.
Yeah. There was he used to be on the Seattle Mariners, Ichiro. I think he's moved on, but he moved on a while ago actually. But
Japan's golden boy.
Him and there's been a couple of Japanese baseball players, but what I loved back when he was part of the Mariners, he did an interview at some point, and they talked about, because he used to put his baseball bats in a humidifier, and he would like wrap them in like this special cloth or something like that.
Sounds like cheating.
Yeah, and they were like, why do you do all of this? I mean, like, what's the point? And then he had an analogy where he was talking about a chef and like his wares, like his knives and his pans. And it was like, a chef cannot cook a delicious meal if his knives are not sharpened and his pans are not clean. The idea of perfection, like the idea of from the very ground up, if you're going to execute something, that you need to be prepared. You need to be efficient, and you need to be, you know what I mean? Like, I just love...
There's a lot of truth there.
Well, no, but I love the idea, because even if it's not quote-unquote true, like, somebody can just fucking grab any old bat, and if they're a fucking great baseball player, just smack the shit out of a ball, the end. But it was the idea that he had, like, this...
It gives him confidence in his practice.
A mentality, exactly. And it gives you that focus, that meditation, that process... You know what I mean? To like execute on something. I think we all kind of come up with our own like thing, like the things that throw us off or the things that put us into the mood or into gear. But yeah, with the Japanese, it was always so like elegant the way they fucking do shit that it was like
full of themselves. Really?
No. I don't
really.
Hey, listen, any imperialistic society,
All
especially because they're so homogenous.
You're like that with
happen.
your art. You're like a samurai with your fucking vector art.
Yeah, there you go.
Zooming in 5,000%. Nobody's ever gonna fucking see this, but it matters to you.
Nobody can see my mistakes. Nobody can see them. I get it.
Production. This is a Rooster Teeth production.
In Indiana stands a public library that is over 130 years old. For decades, there have been rumors swirling of a ghost that inhabits the building. Others still say that there is more than one. The story has gained so much traction that the library now boasts several 24/7 live stream feeds for anyone to monitor. Today we discuss the haunting of Willard Library. This is Red Web. Hello and welcome back, Task Force. It's Monday, so you know what that means. It's time to discuss another unsolved, spooky mystery. We're going back into ghosts, Alfredo. I'm your host, Trevor Collins. With me, like I mentioned, Alfredo Diaz.
Boo.
Oh!
Yeah, gotcha.
Got me.
So you're telling me...
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're good. Yeah, right. Ghosts. Few and far between, right?
Many.
I could walk outside, get struck by lightning, pass away.
Sure.
Good chance I'm not going to become a ghost.
Or is there a high likelihood that you're a ghost?
Oh,
and you just don't cross
ghost
this plane?
world, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd like to think that there's a low probability. And with that thought, makes me go, why would you want to haunt a library?
That's a good question. Yeah. And actually, I'm going to jump the gun on this one. The theories section, as we always have, to address whatever mysteries are going on, is particular in this one because it's been a while since we've talked about ghosts, but we're going to talk about the story, the history of the library, the stories of the sightings, and then the theories are very brief. It's really to attempt to solve who the ghost is, if we can. There are some rumors out there as to who this ghost might be, but it's really interesting.
Book
nerd,
this one. That's who it is.
Definitely, right?
You're
that
not
or
going to the library
spirit.
for VHS tapes.
Listen, I don't know if I would ever want to be a ghost. I just don't know if I can handle or even fathom infinite time, just ever present.
It would get boring over it, right? You could go anywhere you want, do whatever you want, almost, kind of, like, as long as it's within the ghost plane, but, like, it'd be boring.
I feel like it would, unless it's like a Ghost Story, Casey Affleck style, where you're wearing a bed sheet and you just stand there and you play some eerie music and you just watch a woman eat a pie for 5 minutes in a scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened. And then time kind of jumps, right, as they feel static. And so they just witness time ramp up into the future. That would be interesting.
That would be cool.
Like a time lapse
or
ghost.
If it was like I had a group of people, like Ghost Gang.
Oh, yeah.
What are we laughing?
Hey, no,
I'm just
serious.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be alone when I'm a ghost. You know what I mean? Ghost Gang. You just run around. Like
I said, boo.
I said, boo, yo.
All right. Well, let's talk about Willard Library. I'm from Indiana, so this is a really interesting one for me.
Have you been to this library?
I haven't been to this library, but I also I never really frequented Evansville. It's right down in the little corner of Indiana. It's almost fallen off the state, but yeah. So let's talk about it. So Willard Library is a private donation library that was incorporated back in 1881 in order to serve the city of Evansville, Indiana, as well as to carry out the terms of a private trust. We'll talk about how this trust came to be in just a second, but this library is known for its Victorian Goth style. It has a lot of historical significance to the town. It also boasts a large genealogy department. There are a lot of resources under this kind of subject. And there's also, of course, the paranormal activity of which we're going to be discussing.
How big is this place?
Well, that's a good question, actually. Christian, I don't have that answer. Do you know how big this place is?
In terms of like square footage?
Yeah, I mean, like square footage, how many floors, their basement.
How many beds, baths?
I'm just, let me know. Exactly.
Multiple kitchens, mother-in-law suite.
Like, what's the
What are we
real
working
estate
with?
value of this place?
Right.
You'd think that info would be very easy to find, and it's not.
Every time they try to get the place scoped out,
Yeah.
They're
just like,
they get too,
You
no,
can come
I
in.
can't go in there. I saw
no
something.
measuring tapes.
It's a pretty specific rule they have. No measuring tapes, and anytime they
No
show up to
rulers.
measure it with their ruler,
Yeah.
like a foot-long
I don't
ruler,
know.
takes a lot of time. Then they see a ghost and they forget where they were.
Oh, damn, it's pretty big.
Oh.
I don't have measurements, but I have a picture if you can see it from across the room.
Oh, it looks like
It's
2
decent
floors.
size.
Not
Yeah.
sure if there's
Yeah.
okay, wait. You live in Indiana.
Yeah,
Are there basements in Indiana?
definitely.
I'm going to assume there's a basement in this place. So it looks like 2 floors, possible basement, and then maybe some attics. Seems like it's kind of like towers.
It definitely looked like there was a tower with a third
Yeah.
floor. Now that's where you find
the,
ghosts.
the place looks like if you walked in with a sorting hat and a wand that you'd be welcome there.
There is indeed a basement.
Bam.
That
Talking about
contains
Narnia?
A children's room,
Yes.
apparently.
Oh, wait.
the basement?
basement
Is the children's room?
room?
It's not entirely the children's room, but it has the children's room.
Problem. Red flag.
Interesting decisions.
Well, you
Now I
know
know why
what?
it's
The more red
haunted.
flags I see, the more likely we are to show up at that location. So,
No.
yeah. Anyway, Willard Carpenter was the man who kind of kicked this off, and he was known as Evansville's pioneer of public charity, which is why he built and endowed this library in the first place. In fact, he established a trust fund in 1876 in which he wrote, quote, "I have concluded to establish and endow a public library to be located in a public park on land owned by me, situated in the city of Evansville. I'm induced to do this in well-grounded hope that such an institution may become useful toward the improvement of the morale and intellectual culture of the inhabitants of Evansville, and also toward the enlargement and diffusion of a taste for the fine arts." So, this man seems to be after something nice and selfless.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel like
awesome.
a disposition that, feels rare these days. But yeah, he's just like, you know what? I want to help brighten the environment here of the citizens, their understanding of the fine arts, their
Very
intellectual.
generous. That place looks huge.
Yeah, and it's beautiful too. Now, I want to read the notes as I have them.
Okay.
It says Willard was 1/12 children.
What?
He was 1/12 a child at all times.
Just look, it's in the outline. It's fact.
If it's in the outline, it's real.
12 children.
No, Willard was one of 12 children, and he actually made a fortune in real estate and was a member of the city council. So this guy's
wow.
obviously very, he's got a big family, but he also earned wealth, which he is now turning around to kind of help build this town. But in addition to that, he also built one of the town's first railroads. He was also a very strong and loud abolitionist, so this seems like a pretty swell guy. As for his family history, it was a pretty well-known fact that he had a strained relationship with his 3 children, Luis, Marcia, and Albert.
Estranged or estranged?
Strained.
Strained.
A strained relationship, yeah. So some tension between him and his kids. Now, a lot of people think it's unclear as to why they had this rough dynamic prior to the funding of the library. But after the funding of the library, it becomes a little bit more clear, perhaps, because Carpenter had written that Luis, her husband, and her siblings would receive nothing in his will and left most of his established wealth to his businesses, such as the Willard Library. So maybe this could be why they had a strained relationship.
Do? Like,
I don't know. You know, it could be kind of like that Bill Gates sort of situation where they're like, listen, I'm a billionaire. I'm going to give you like a couple mil, and the rest is going to charity.
Jesus Christ. A couple mil?
Just enough to set you up for life. Nothing big.
Nothing,
you know?
Nothing big at all. Look, just enough to set you up for life, but not your children.
Right. Not your children. This isn't generations.
That's right.
It could be
generational charity. I mean, now it kind of makes sense as to why the children section was in the basement.
Oh, maybe he just, being 1/12 children, you'd think that he would put that up top, right? With the room with the view.
Yeah.
But instead, I think,
it's like, no.
Maybe
he shuns that part of him.
He shuns that part. He shuns that. He's like, listen, I'm 11/12 adult. I'm putting the kids in the basement. Okay. Daddy worked for this money. He's getting the roof.
Yeah.
He's getting the views.
Well, like, I mean, man, there's got to be some kind of falling out. I
imagine, right? Because it sounds like it was strained prior to the funding part.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the whole strain on the relationship with the kids doesn't make it seem like it's like, hey, go out and make your own money, do your own thing.
Yeah,
right. Like I get that. Gordon Ramsay does that. Chef Ramsay,
and he makes food. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Dang.
But he's like, go make your own wealth.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally valid. It's just, I guess, whether it was personal affairs or otherwise, it's not broadly known as to why that relationship was like that. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, now we have some more substantial reasoning with the finances and whatnot. Hey, daughter's husband, siblings of my daughter, for some reason, you're not getting a lick of this.
No.
Which is interesting.
No.
Now, with regards to the building of the library, that began in 1876 at the intersections, or roughly, of First Avenue and Pennsylvania Street in Carpenter's Field. Now, the struggling economy at the time called for a pause in the construction around 1877, so it only began construction for about a year. And then they left the foundation of the library untouched for about 5 years.
Holy.
That's enough time to really kind of screw with what you built. But yeah, 5 years, it kind of just sat.
I mean, not that they were going to make money off of this, but to just leave it sitting there for 5 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to build a library. Maybe you want to build a spaceship or something.
Well, then you just keep the foundation as is and start launching off.
That's true.
Yeah. But the building resumed in 1882, and Carpenter devoted the rest of his life to the supervision of this building, leaving his children to wander the park.
Look at what they can't have.
That was just some filler as I turned the page. No, but I mean, he was very passionate about this project and all the other affairs that he was working with, as far as like not only just building this library, but the other, like the railroad and everything else. So he wanted to work very directly with the architects. He hired the workmen himself. Again, he was very hands-on, and he oversaw what materials were being used to ensure only the best was being put towards this library.
Damn, this place sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome,
Except
right?
for the basement.
Except for the basement, or i.e. the children's ward.
That's true.
Where they go to kind of play in their windowless pit. Sorry, it really is a beautiful facility.
No, but you're not wrong. There's no windows down there in the basement.
Right. But kind of flashing forward now, Carpenter passed away at the age of 80 in November 6 of 1883. Now, this was before the library was properly finished, and his death actually jeopardized the funding of the library. So instead of leaving his fortune to his children, as I mentioned, he left it to the estate, which was then kind of relegated to the library in order for them to continue construction.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the children, at this time, not really children, but young adults, hated him for it.
He never got to see it be finished and
I
completed.
never got to see it.
That's unfortunate.
It really is, especially with how I mean, it seemed like this was his passion project, right? Like, seems like he, you know, for better or worse, grew away from his family and grew towards these, what's the word?
Phalanges.
Yeah, phalanges. More philanthropic efforts. That actually helped.
That actually helped.
That actually helped me. Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Leave that all in. That was amazing. No, philanthropy. But anyway, a formal opening of the library was held on March 28th of 1885. So around, you know, a year and a half after he passed. And in August of 1896, his youngest daughter, Louise Carpenter, sued to have access to the inheritance using the claim.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, guess what her claim was? This is very HBO's Succession-esque. So let me draw this out of you. What do you think her claim was as to, like, listen, I'm trying to get back at that inheritance, you know, 10 years on, 11 years on.
Ooh.
Shouldn't belong to the library. I'm getting it back.
No.
What's her reasoning?
Rightful ownership? Less inheritance and more ownership of the
It was
facility?
a claim around her father. She claimed that her father, you're close. She claimed that her father was in a poor state of mind at the time when he was writing his will, right? And that's going to happen every now and then when you have some upset feelings and someone's writing their will towards the end of life. It leaves open that kind of nefarious argument to say, like, well, maybe you just weren't of right mind. And then that draws into question the entirety, the sanctity of a will, right? But suffice to say, she lost.
It's not like it was a Bugatti or anything like that. Like, this thing is a damn public library and a really nice one, too.
Right.
And just like, no, I want it.
I want it.
It's mine.
I'm going to get it.
I mean, you might as well have walked up to the damn building and go, kicked it.
Real Poseidon rage right there.
Kick the side of the building. Like,
take that crown molding.
Child.
Bang. Yeah, I kind of get it, but I also don't. So, like, ultimately, though, as you can imagine, she lost and the library continued to grow, right? Because the library had these funds not only to just finish construction, but to continue investing in itself and to grow. Carpenter was an agent, actually, for the Underground Railroad before the Civil War. So it was one of his missions and actually requirements for the library was actually, and I'll quote him here, was to, quote, be maintained for the free use of all persons who may desire to consult it. Now, this makes sense to us, right? A public library being free to use for the town, for citizens of an area, but the definition of a, quote, public library was rare. I mean, like, almost unheard of at this time. I think I looked it up before the episode, and the oldest library in the United States goes back to the 1830s, so a few decades prior to this. But regardless, it wasn't really commonplace. So this kind of definition for a library where it feels entirely selfless and for the benefit of all humans was...
Carpenter sounds awesome.
He sounds awesome, right?
Sounds like a
minus his
great
familial
person.
stuff, but like he sounds awesome.
Yeah,
and
but his kids could be a little...
Sure. Maybe there was something we don't know about. Christian almost had to go right down.
Gotcha.
But because of this, many people considered this a risky endeavor, right? Because otherwise you're thinking entrepreneurship, you got to make a dime out of this thing.
Yeah.
But also given the social climate of the 19th century, there's a lot of accepted risk in this play. But otherwise, I think this is a very modern initiative, right? I think it's very worth it. But Carpenter's idea for Willard Library actually was that of a college, a place of education. But instead, he chose to make it a library. And I'll kind of go very briefly into the kind of origin of that. Now, while he was living in Troy, New York, another place I actually lived, Carpenter admired Emma Willard School. Originally, it was called Troy Female Seminary, but the Emma Willard School was the first women's higher education institution in the United States and was founded by women's rights advocate Emma Willard back in 1814. It's just kind of serendipitous that his first name and her last name are Willard, but because of that, he named the library Willard Library, not only because of his first name, but because of her last name, rather than naming it after his last name, which was commonplace.
Man, what hasn't Carpenter done wrong?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to dig, though. I'm terrified.
I mean, probably done something wrong.
That's what has social media has trained me to think, that there's always something under the surface.
Something. You must have kicked a dog or something crossing the street.
Yeah, that's a mystery I don't want to uncover right now.
Stop. Come on.
Fido. But yeah, that is the kind of origin, just kind of give you the playing field for what this library is about, where it's at, how it came to pass, how it came to be. But now let's go into the hauntings, some of the sightings, because this is one of those places that has a named ghost, not like Doris or something like a name like that, but it has a ghost that has been seen many times that is referred to often as the Lady in Gray or the Gray Lady. Now, this is a very common name.
It's not a male.
No,
I was thinking maybe my first thought was Carpenter.
Oh, like himself.
Himself.
That's not a bad idea,
Hunting
or a bad
around,
guess.
Admiring his work.
Right, because he never saw it come to fruition.
It made sense to me.
Stands to reason.
Maybe not.
Maybe there's room in this for Willard, though.
Oh.
Stand by. Now, I do want to address, I'm sure everybody listening in the task force is like, oh, I've heard of the Lady in Gray. Now, it is a common reference for when you don't know, the identity of the ghost, if you don't know who they were in life, it's common to refer to them as Lady in Gray. In fact, where this is a small plug and a sidebar, there is a show we did at our parent company, Rooster Teeth, called Haunter. And that's available on roosterteeth.com if you want to check it out, or the Rooster Teeth app. And when I did a few of those episodes, one was at Michelin Priory over in England. And one of the things I got to do was hang out on the moat all by myself, this ancient place, and try to taunt the Lady in Gray. That was one of the things that we would do to spur up some activity. And I'll tell you what.
You're sick.
It was like, listen, I got to be Braveheart, but I was... Listen, I was experiencing some things. It was spooky times. And they also, another thing they did to initiate me into the Haunter show was tie me to the bed in the Priory for an hour as they left. They left.
Hell no.
So I'm in this eerie, creaky place, and I was witnessing and hearing all sorts of things I was not into. But that...
Spilling the beans.
That experience, man, okay, that gave me some,
I'm bartering at that point. Look, you could take my soul, but there's 30 juicy souls outside this building I'll help you get.
Right. You can leave me be and I'll help you out.
Right.
Yeah.
You can...
Some 13 Ghosts style or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. But that ghost was also referred to as the Gray Lady. She would walk the grounds, and supposedly her son had been... unfortunately hanged by accident, and so I had to antagonize a woman and her child in the afterlife. Anyway, go check that out. By the way, Rooster Teeth app.
You should build a library to make up for that.
You know what? I will. It's going to be a baby library for baby hands.
It's really tiny.
It's going to be a library for ants, but it'll be done.
Doorknob so tiny we can't even open it.
Ghosts can't get in. Now, as I mentioned, the library opened in 1885. The first reported sighting of the Gray Lady ghost wasn't until 1937. This initial sighting was actually by the custodian at the time. And since then, there have been many reports of unexplained events by visitors to the library, many of whom knew nothing about the established reports of the Gray Lady, right? Because that's one of the things that happens with hauntings is that people come in with a preconceived notion. They go, you start to look for things to happen, and so you attribute those to whatever ghost stories are out there. But many of these early stories were coming from people that had no idea that there had been other sightings. And so that to me is check in the column of, okay, something's going on here.
Right? Yeah. Instead of we see that a lot with different things, whether it be murders or sightings, etc. But it starts to gain traction, and then people want to get involved in it.
Yeah,
right?
They want to have a story.
Yeah, they want to have their story. But no, I like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I subconsciously look for.
It brings more I don't know, weight and truth to it for me.
Yeah, for sure.
A ton of people that this hasn't even blown up yet, haven't even talked to each other. I've seen some stuff.
Right. Because the thing is, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious, right? In the daylight, I'm brave as hell. But then when I go, you and I did that haunt for the Halloween special last year, and we went to a place, we walked around. That's how we did our special episode
you guys
that
wanted
year.
To throw our backs against the dark hallway that led into a church. So the whole time I was like, hell no. But I'm just going to look back at it.
Yeah. You just stared backwards the whole time. And I needed that. I needed some eyes on, that's my personal phobia is like lassophobia, but with big open dark hallways. I don't like it.
Exactly. I'm not going to rely on someone behind the camera just being like, oh.
Right.
Peeking off to the side.
Camera's hovering in the air as somebody Looney Tunes out the building and the camera's just spinning there. But when it comes to being on location, though, and the sun goes down, man, my beliefs start to like wane a little bit, like start to increase. I start to like start hearing things and seeing things, and I go, oh, maybe, man, I don't know what I don't know, you know?
When the world starts to quiet down and,
oh, man.
and you're not supposed to hear noises, you start hearing things.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, let's go back to this initial sighting. So as the story goes, the janitor was making his nightly rounds throughout the library around 3 a.m., known as the witching hour.
Oh.
Now, he was following his normal path when he strolled down to the basement stairs. So yes, there's a basement for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He strolled down the basement stairs, down a small corridor, and began to head towards the furnace. At that moment, a veiled woman wearing gray appeared before him.
There it is.
Now remember, this is the first sighting, and this guy has probably been working there for quite some time. This library's been open up for almost 50 years by this point.
Now?
Right. And so he's walking down the corridor. He sees this, and out of fear, he drops the flashlight. He bolts. Now, when he picked it back up again to check the hallway, when he comes back, he picks it up. He goes, okay, no. What did I see? The woman had disappeared, right?
Back tomorrow.
He didn't come back tomorrow. In fact, he fled, and as soon as he got out and came back to the library the next day, he quit. Like, that was it. He was donezo. He left his post. And I don't blame him.
Man, you gotta
What would you do?
So I wouldn't even have that job in the first place.
But there's no haunt. This is just a library, dude. I mean, you can
Cleaning
kick the
a
lights off.
damn library with a basement in the middle of the night?
Yeah, but
Hell no, bro.
Okay, well, you know, like you get a little torch going on. I mean,
Dude, it could be a ghost.
I mean, electricity just kicked on around this time, so you're like, you know, pop on some lights,
I
dude.
don't care. There's dark spots everywhere.
Flashlight,
Also,
that's what this man has.
Who's to say there isn't just, I don't know, ghosts and stuff that will attack you in the light?
See, I wanted to come after you for that, but here's the thing. I just substantiated your claim of like, who's to say there isn't a ghost in the Waits, right? Because, yeah, this ghost slept around for like, okay, I didn't mean slept around in that way. I just, excuse me here. I just mean like this ghost was sleeping on the snooze button for like nearly 50 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if she wants to sleep around a little bit, that's her prerogative.
Man,
I don't, I don't.
Ectoplasm.
Listen, might need a sample. I don't know. We got to get out in the field and investigate.
We got to get out
various
there.
ways, you know.
We just got to figure it all out.
If they're unwilling, we got to be willing.
I'm just saying, if we're investigating an area, where to be a cryptid or a ghost or whatever, if there's goop, we got to analyze it.
Absolutely,
we don't know what kind of
taste
goop it
buds
could
first.
be. Well,
that's a ghost right there. Aerate it. Cover all 9,000 taste buds. That's a ghost.
Force Taste Division.
It's just an empty room. We don't go in there. But anyway, yeah. So he came back and he quit, and I don't blame him because
no, not at all.
50 years of
someone smart,
quiet, polite library activity.
Damn.
And one night it goes south.
I can't imagine like doing that.
Yeah.
Doing that all by yourself.
Now, again, I reference Mothman because that was one of like the cases where we really dove into the idea of shared sightings, right? And so after he quit, this could be a spurring from this story, or it could be just the initiation of a haunt, of a ghost being established in this area. But either way, Margaret Meyer, who was a children's librarian, and Helen Cam, who was a library assistant, and many other employees, too long of a list that I won't name, they also began encountering the Lady in Gray as well. So without going into all those various stories, it is generally said that she would roam the halls with books. She would linger on the stairways and sometimes even appear in the elevator, where if she appeared with you in the elevator, there would be no escape until you reached the appropriate floor.
Dude, can you imagine how terrifying that is? Granted, this is like any amount of time with a ghost would be terrifying.
Sure.
In a confined space like that. But like, at least this is like 3 floors. You know what I mean?
Right. You're not in there for like
80 floors. You're just staring at the thing.
You're like, hello.
I don't know. Like, what would you actually do?
Dude,
say
I don't
know, it was
man.
80 floors. Would you at that point, if it just stood there, would your mind just settle a bit?
Dude, I don't know.
Or...
Because I've had that shock scare before. When you like, okay, so now I'll just walk you through what I'm picturing. And this is an old school elevator. So you have the thing, like that shutter gate kind of right. And then you hop in, you're like, I'm alone. I'm going to the children's ward. Let's go down. And so you hit the button. You're like, la-di-da-di-da. There's no elevator music. You got to make it yourself. And then you turn to your left and you catch a glimpse of something. You're like, but you know in your heart of hearts that you are in an empty little elevator. So you look full on. You see something there. Dude. Immediately, I can feel, because I've had this jump, the tingles cover my body, and you just freeze and you stare at the thing and you back up because you can't go anywhere.
No.
You are trapped with this entity, peaceful or otherwise. I hate this thought experiment you put me in, by the way.
Is it more terrifying if the ghost was staring at you or not staring at you?
Or third option, staring at you and just licking her lips. Just
you like higher education?
You go into the children's library? Dude, I think all of it's bad. If she's staring at me, I'm out. I'm done. I'm passing out. my safety mechanism kicks in, and then my consciousness goes eject, and I pass out there, then and there. I'm telling you, that's what would happen. I hate this. To be confined.
Right. You're locked in. Like, what do you like that? Take the L, right? No matter what you do, it's over.
But what's the L, dude? Like, you are trapped. There is no fight or flight.
It could be taken over. It could gut you like a fish. I don't know. Whatever they want to do.
Wake up and you're a ghost.
With some books. Yeah, you could wake up as a ghost.
Dude. Well, hello there, Task Force. It's that time again where I get to update you on what's going on with Red Web. 2 updates. First of all, thank you all so much for coming out in droves to support the Slangin' and Bangin' Gym shirt that we released at store.roosterteeth.com. That became the #1 selling item in our store across the whole company, thanks to you, Task Force. So thank you very much. I believe that one's print on demand, so that means we shouldn't run out of inventory like we normally sell out very quickly. This one should keep flying off the shelves as long as you want it, unless you break the system, which is entirely possible. I don't put it past you. The other update is that we actually have a TikTok now. So if you're TikTok inclined and you want bite-sized mysteries, that's the place that we're going to revisit some of the popular favorite episodes that we did, but in a much more truncated form. It also gives us the opportunity to talk about mysteries that are just much too short to fit in this kind of format. So if you want more mysteries, even the ones that are just bite-sized, head to our TikTok. It is our handle is different for this. It is at The Red Web. So check us out there. It's different than our Instagram or our Twitter, but it is there, and we just launched the first one. With that said, let's talk about some of our fantastic sponsors. This episode of Red Web is sponsored by Upstart. Upstart can help you pay off your existing debt quickly and easily with a personal loan so you can start living your life. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you get a fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Upstart's model considers other factors beyond your credit score, like your income, employment, and other information, to find you a smarter rate for your loan. Check your rate in just 5 minutes for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/redweb. That's upstart.com/redweb. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know that we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Again, go to upstart.com/redweb. And as always, when it comes to finances, be sure to do your due diligence. This episode of Red Web is also sponsored by Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's an addictively fun way and an easy way to learn a new language. I like the fact that they gamify learning a language because I remember going to high school and having to memorize flashcards. It made it very boring, very transactional. And the fact that we are in Texas means that Spanish is a very, very useful language. So I like the fact that I can kind of gamify my learning of Spanish to be a little bit more conversational when it comes to using the language. But Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel, their lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective, so you know you're going to learn and have a good time while you do it. Right now, you can save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/redweb. That's babbel.com/redweb for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. And the last sponsor I want to talk about today is actually ourselves in a way. It is RTX. It's an event that we hold every single year here in Austin, and actually due to quarantine and everything like that, this is the first one we're going to do in person in several years. I'm so excited about it. If you're listening to this point in the podcast, I know for a fact that you really like podcasts, so you should know at RTX, if you love podcasts, they have a podcast festival that you can attend. Red Web is going to be there, so we're going to be able to see you all. If you want to come out, we're going to have some panels. We're going to do meet and greets, everything like that. We have so much to offer at our convention. It's here in Austin, Texas, where we record this podcast, and it's going to happen this summer from July 1st through 3rd. It's going to be a long 3-day weekend filled with all sorts of fun live recordings, meet and greets, like I said, panels. We have the show floor filled with awesome stuff. It's going to be a good time. And like I said, Fredo and I, Christian, everybody's going to be there, so come hang out. RTX Austin takes the best in podcasting, gaming, and animation and brings it all to Austin, Texas for one unforgettable weekend. You can step into the exhibit hall and be transported into another world filled with cosplayers, live gaming, indie artists, and much more. Of course, health and safety is our number one priority. Masks will be required during the event, and we will follow the city guidelines as they are at the time of the event. If you want more information, head over to bit.ly/RTXAustin2022. That's the year number. Don't spell it out like a goof. I believe is all lowercase. If you want to type that out, it is case sensitive. So that link will take you to the website where you can learn about the badge information, everything else that's going on at RTX. But again, that's bit.ly/RTXAustin2022 to get your badge today. Hopefully,
This is a Rooster Teeth production.
As you want it, unless you break the system, which is entirely possible. I don't put it past you. The other update is that we actually have a TikTok now. So if you're TikTok inclined and you want bite-sized mysteries, that's the place that we're going to revisit some of the popular favorite episodes that we did, but in a much more truncated form. It also gives us the opportunity to talk about mysteries that are just much too short to fit in this kind of format. So if you want more mysteries, even the ones that are just bite-sized, head to our TikTok. It is our handle is different for this. It is at The Red Web. So check us out there. It's different than our Instagram or our Twitter, but it is there, and we just launched the first one. With that said, let's talk about some of our fantastic sponsors. This episode of Red Web is sponsored by Upstart. Upstart can help you pay off your existing debt quickly and easily with a personal loan so you can start living your life. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you get a fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Upstart's model considers other factors beyond your credit score, like your income, employment, and other information, to find you a smarter rate for your loan. Check your rate in just 5 minutes for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/redweb. That's upstart.com/redweb. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know that we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Again, go to upstart.com/redweb. And as always, when it comes to finances, be sure to do your due diligence. This episode of Red Web is also sponsored by Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's an addictively fun way and an easy way to learn a new language. I like the fact that they gamify learning a language because I remember going to high school and having to memorize flashcards. It made it very boring, very transactional. And the fact that we are in Texas means that Spanish is a very, very useful language. So I like the fact that I can kind of gamify my learning of Spanish to be a little bit more conversational when it comes to using the language. But Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel, their lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective, so you know you're going to learn and have a good time while you do it. Right now, you can save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/redweb. That's babbel.com/redweb for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. And the last sponsor I want to talk about today is actually ourselves in a way. It is RTX. It's an event that we hold every single year here in Austin, and actually due to quarantine and everything like that, this is the first one we're going to do in person in several years. I'm so excited about it. If you're listening to this point in the podcast, I know for a fact that you really like podcasts, so you should know at RTX, if you love podcasts, they have a podcast festival that you can attend. Red Web is going to be there, so we're going to be able to see you all. If you want to come out, we're going to have some panels. We're going to do meet and greets, everything like that. We have so much to offer at our convention. It's here in Austin, Texas, where we record this podcast, and it's going to happen this summer from July 1st through 3rd. It's going to be a long 3-day weekend filled with all sorts of fun live recordings, meet and greets, like I said, panels. We have the show floor filled with awesome stuff. It's going to be a good time. And like I said, Fredo and I, Christian, everybody's going to be there, so come hang out. RTX Austin takes the best in podcasting, gaming, and animation and brings it all to Austin, Texas for one unforgettable weekend. You can step into the exhibit hall and be transported into another world filled with cosplayers, live gaming, indie artists, and much more. Of course, health and safety is our number one priority. Masks will be required during the event, and we will follow the city guidelines as they are at the time of the event. If you want more information, head over to bit.ly/RTX Austin 2022. That's the year number. Don't spell it out like a goofball. Also, RTX Austin, I believe, is all lowercase. If you want to type that out, it is case sensitive. So that link will take you to the website where you can learn about the badge information, everything else that's going on at RTX. But again, that's bit.ly/RTX Austin 2022 to get your badge today. Hopefully, Task Force, we're going to see you there July 1st through 3rd this summer here in Austin, Texas. With that said, let's dive right back into this weird, haunted library. But anyway, I mentioned the elevator, not because I'm just making up where people have had encounters. No, there was specifically a story from a visitor.
It's messed up.
Just a library visitor who had no idea that this place was haunted. They hop into the elevator and they encounter the Gray Lady. I can't imagine that moment. But there was also some high profile or relatively high profile stories as well. Like the local weathercaster actually also reported an encounter with one of the spirits here. So this was starting to become pretty well known. So this is where I start to go, okay, was this, one sighting spurred others and it kind of became this big thing that kind of spurred off of this one sighting? Or did we witness the origin of a haunt? Because this is a rare moment in ghost story kind of storytelling, right? In that you don't normally see the start of a haunt. You always just know of a place that's haunted, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's really interesting, and that will kind of play into the idea of the theories as to who this person might be.
Is this place still?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll get into like their kind of modern stuff.
We travel there.
Okay.
And we have Trevor ride the elevator up and down the whole night.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There's a soft spot for this place. I'll tell you why in just a little bit. But yeah, still active, this place. But coming back to some of the stories and some of the general kind of through threads that a lot of people had, the shared experiences. Now, a lot of people that encountered this spirit said that her presence was often accompanied by a very heavy scent of perfume. Specifically
pleasant.
It does sound pleasant. Specifically, and we'll go into some of these things, but like lilac or lavender, a very floral perfume.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. And I'd actually wonder if that was a very common scent. I mean, it is now, but I'd be curious, if that was
back then
a very popular ladies' scent of a perfume in the early 1900s, Sometimes now the lady in gray would play tricks, little goofster over here, on library visitors by turning on faucets and then turning them back off, making lights flicker, sometimes throwing books off their shelves.
Oh, man.
So, maybe she didn't really like books so much. Can't go throwing books. You're going to mess up the spine, dude. Binding.
I'm not. I don't like this place.
You're going to uncrisp the pages.
Don't mess around with me.
Don't mess around with literature.
This is messed up.
You step into the room and they're like, finally, I got someone else to mess with that aren't books.
I would be gone. I wonder what the ghost would do that showed up. And you're just like,
oh, you were ready to
arms
attack?
at the waist. You're like, oh, people saying I was hoping. Here you are. I got you.
You anoint your hands with some holy water. You're like,
kiss the cross.
I got holy knuckles.
I got you for 2 whole floors.
2 whole floors.
Can you imagine ghosts be like, what the?
Oh my God. Okay.
Bye.
Just the ghost just goes, like, makes that meme, that meme of that young girl with like the kind of buck teeth going, and then like just fades away. Just fades. That's interesting. But here, let's jump to kind of modern history about this place. Psychics visited the library in 2007, and they said they were able to verify that a ghost had been there. And many paranormal investigators actually brought their equipment in that was designed to detect ghosts. You know, EMF readers, heat thermometers, and heat cameras, and infrared, and all that good stuff. And though there are mixed results from varying teams, many of them at least had minor encounters. There's also a group of lecturers from the University of Southern Indiana that visited the library as well, and they said that they saw a ghost peering into the water, which is interesting. Got a really
and it seems like anything
ghost.
Is the cool thing about this place that's being haunted. It seems like anything is free game.
Yeah,
right? It's not like, oh, just in the attic or these set of children blocks. It's like, no, anything.
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good point.
Cool.
Yeah, because a lot of places you go, they say, oh, well, so and so is known to walk. Yeah, or like this specific room, or they want to play with the ball, as we experienced. But this one seems very dynamic.
Anything
reactive,
water, the books.
Like as this place expanded, they would react, and like in fact, I think I'm jumping.
Oh, they would go into new expanded places of the library?
Yeah. So like as they would remodel, it seemed that activity would spike, as almost as if to say, like, I don't know if it was good or bad, if it was reactionary or whatever. But yeah, there was some of the activity would kind of ebb and flow with the kind of remodeling or expansion of the library. It's interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like they're haunted in an abandoned place or like a house or something like that. You never hear about like a place that's actively being haunted and then expanded upon.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so I did jump here in my notes, but just to build on that fact, you know, there are 2 ghosts. I told you, I jumped the gun here just real quick, but there are 2 ghosts that have been spotted, and both of them have been seen at all times of the day. But specifically, the Gray Lady is the one that seems to get more active during periods of renovation or otherwise large changes. You know, just a reorganization of the way the library is laid out. But coming back a little bit, just backpedaling, to give you more context for the 2 ghosts. Now, policemen during a certain time window. I believe, was this policeman activity in the early 2000s as well, Christian?
That's
I don't have a specific
question.
date. I would imagine it would be modern history at least. So while he looks that up, policemen were responding to a security alarm at the library. And when they got there, and again, they themselves spotted 2 ghosts in an upstairs window of the library. This is the first mention historically of a second ghost. This second ghost has since been seen around, but is often described as a shadow person or otherwise a dark mass. So not nearly as common, but but it could also be that both ghosts maybe got conflated, thinking they were the same ghost. But now that we've seen both of them together,
it seems like such an active place, and now we're seeing two separate.
Yeah.
What? Dang.
It really is.
Because you usually hear about like maybe there's a couple ghosts, but we're really, like you mentioned before, seeing the evolution of
These are some origin stories.
Yeah, of this location.
Yeah.
And just more than ever, I'm just so curious as to how a ghost pops up after 50 years, and then eventually a second one pops up. Because so far you haven't told me about like these books of murdered people or
right
or
like I was on the elevator, I saw the ghost, and then I wasn't a person anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're passed out and became a ghost.
It's like or just people passing away somewhere and then winding up here. Like it's just so wild. It doesn't seem like there's been any deaths on the actual site itself.
100%. It really draws into question like why one becomes a ghost, or how even, and then also why certain locations, right, over others. But that could be a whole other episode that would be very conversational, because like there's so like few hard-hitting pieces of concrete evidence.
Yeah, I bet they're
like
few and far between,
if any, really.
And jumping in real quick, I couldn't find an exact year, but the policeman story was sometime in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it makes sense, especially if there's like, you know, some alarms going off and stuff. But let's jump forward to the last reported sighting Now, this is why I thought you might find it interesting to go, because this is the last reported sighting that we know of. And it occurred back on August 10th of 2010. So it's been relatively quiet.
Okay.
For about 12 years now.
I was bracing myself.
Yeah.
Very well
Yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
So this last reported sighting occurred in the basement hallway by the assistant children's librarian. She just saw wandering in the hallway the gray lady, right? But ultimately, with regards to the ghost herself, the reasoning for her hiatus or disappearance even is unknown. This is a really, really interesting case because this is one of the first cases that I personally know about where we see a ghost start to haunt a place and potentially end. That's not very common at all with haunted locations. But of course, we don't know why it started nor why it ended. But unless you have any other thoughts, I'm going to wrap up with just a couple of other odds and ends that people have kind of shared with their experiences over the time.
It just seems like a pleasant place, even with the hauntings. It's just like nice ghosts.
Yeah. I think it would definitely shock you, especially if you're in the elevator. No matter how nice people want to say a ghost is.
I don't care how nice you are. You see a ghost. It's
right.
Whoa.
Right. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it seems pretty. It's not a very overall scary or negative.
Right? People aren't getting slaughtered by the ghosts or not chasing
or
people
tormented.
out.
Right. It's not like a poltergeist. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of some of the commonalities in a lot of the stories from employees and visitors alike. Getting goosebumps, smelling that lilac or lavender perfume, things getting moved around overnight, not being in their normal spots, that cold feeling that you get from a paranormal presence. Many people hear strange noises across the library. Books and furniture also being moved around randomly. The feeling of something touching your hair and earrings is a commonality.
Ooh.
Yeah. And also, now this one's interesting, Christian. I would love to dive in if you have any other information, but odd items being found in the library. Now I'm wondering, Christian, is that kind of timepieces? Almost like I just found this very out of date coin or artifact.
That would be insane.
That'd be sick.
Ooh, that is a good question. Let me try to find something.
Or could it just be this feels out of place, but it's here, I found this stuffed teddy bear.
Ghosts pickpocketing
and
just leaving stuff
giving
around.
from the rich and or taking from the rich and giving to the needy by hey, give me that teddy bear, little one. That one's for the adults now. And leave that somewhere in the.
Because them adults, they need them teddy bears.
We need to be cozied up too sometimes, snuggled in for bed.
So there was someone in a room on the second floor. There was an empty chair that they sat in during a meeting of some kind. And then afterward, they left the room, and then they came back and to show the library director the chair for some reason, and the chair was gone. And then when she described the appearance of the chair, the guy said that there was never any chair like that in the building before.
Oh. So that's even more
example.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a good example, though, because that is something, I was thinking a piece out of time or a random tchotchke or something, but a whole piece of furniture popping and blipping out of time and space. That's
how you do that?
Wild.
Right? You gotta be the Ghost Supreme or something like that to be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Well, okay, let's come to these photos now because, as I mentioned kind of in the hook, bringing you now into the modern history of this facility, yes, it is said that the last reported sighting was in 2010.
Okay.
But because of the popularity of this destination, in the early 2000s, they set up webcams across their entire campus.
Ooh, smart.
Yeah, they put up what they called these ghost cams throughout the library to give people all over the world the opportunity to take a look and search for the lady in gray. You could do this task.
Streamed it?
Yeah, they're streaming it 24/7.
Whoa, that man, this is so different than any other haunt.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
But here's the thing: this is finally another one of those mysteries, those stories that the task force can get their hands dirty with. Now, as always, if you're gonna go out and you're gonna hit up these websites to look at the streams, always be respectful when you engage with the broad world. They don't know that we're talking about them, so be respectful.
You're
out there.
representing the task force badge.
When you wear the badge, you represent.
Exactly.
And you got to show that respect.
You also punch ghosts in the face.
Absolutely. So the 6 cameras that we have are located in a couple of hot spots. The children's room, the basement hall, the research room, the main stairway, the children's story room, and then it's called this, I don't know what it means, but adult services on the first floor. But also, Task Force, if you happen to be in the area, every October, the Willard Library offers free Gray Lady Ghost haunted tours for all ages.
Oh, that's fun.
And then during the tour, you're going to hear some more stories like the ones we covered, but from other guides and other examples of the Gray Lady in the exact location. They'll take you to those locations where those were sighted. So, for example, they'll take you to the basement hallway where the janitor first saw the sighting, dropped the flashlight, and ran for his life. But I have 3 stills from these cameras. One stands out to me from August 8th of 2003. It was at 3:41 p.m., 13 seconds.
The witching hour.
And of the day. And these are 3 popular screenshots because people think that they are capturing evidence here. Now I'm going to show you because they creep me the heck out.
Okay. Oh God, I see a well-lit room and just a door to like another room that's not lit at all.
The other 2 are a little bit more interpretive, but pay close attention to that second image. And again, Task Force, if you're watching on youtube.com/redwebpod, or if you go to our Twitter page at redwebpod, that's where you're going to find any sort of images that we reference.
The first one, I don't really see her.
That one is, that's what I'm saying, is a little interpretive. Christian might help point it out, but just go straight to that second image.
Oh, I'm going to do the second one.
Oh, you're doing this? Okay. So the third one is a dark U-bend in a stairwell.
Yeah, it is. This is the wide staircase. Wow.
Now, I believe it said that she is walking down the stairs on the left side.
It looks like the upper left corner of the frame on the third picture, and she's at the top of the stairs.
Upper left
of the stairs.
Oh, the third picture.
Stairs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I see that. That looks like someone in an outfit just walking down the stairs.
Hopefully not nude.
And then
And then in the first picture, if you look, the 3 bookshelves in the picture, look in front of the one on the left. That figure in front of the bookshelf on the left.
It just looks like a kid in a hoodie if you took out the face.
It does look like a shadow figure at one of the tables.
I mean,